Da. Yeah. Okay. I got this. I get rid of this. Are you ready? I'm ready.
Hell yeah. I couldn't even.
I was going to say, I'll take your silence. Mean yes.
Whatever.
There we go. All right. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, webisode 911. Rescue 911. The Skeledirge Podcast. Mom Brain is not here. Deux is already tackling the soundboard. I will take care of the Pokemon. And then we'll get into who's going to be here and what's going on. The fiery bird changes shape when Skeledirge sings. Rumor has it that the bird was born when the fireball on Skeledirge's head gained a soul. We've all heard that rumor. Height. But this guy's
some lore.
Barely late. It's 5 foot.
Nothing.
It's 5
100
foot. 5 foot nothing. It's right. Man, listen to this. 5 foot. 719 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot. I think that's what I was before I started my diet. It's male and female. Category is singer, and its abilities include Blaze. Blaze powers up fire type moves when the Pokemon's HP is low. Oh, hello, Piper. The Pester Man comes in and you come to hide out here.
Sweet pipe.
That's it for the Pokemon. Thank you, RMC. You're welcome. And there he is. Deux Michaels is here. How are you doing? Yeah, pull her back.
Excuse me, Piper.
Oh, beautiful. And Nicky Hill is here. How are you, Nicky Hill?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, that was a special treat for the video people. Thanks for joining us. Mom Brain is not here. Mom Brain had a busy week, and she texted me today. You know what? I'm going to read exactly what she said. She said, I hate the podcast. She said, are you okay if I skip pod? I'd like to maybe go to Target and relax. Only if you don't need me. And I won't be mad if you do need me. And I was like, go to Target, go have fun. So if I had to guess, she might pop in and say hello when she gets back. But she needs a decompressing day.
Do they have like a camping section with like a tent set up at Target? And she's like laying in one of the tents?
They used to have like a hammock. I remember they had a hammock set up because I would lay in there all the time. And
there's probably a home goods section.
I would hide in tents.
The Magnolia section.
Yes.
There's probably
you're right.
pillows. And those balls that are made out of knotted yarn.
Yeah, what is up with that? That you stick your hands in?
I mean, you could, right?
I think you do.
I think you're supposed to, maybe.
Maybe you do.
Yeah, what do you do with those? I've never understood.
You would probably put like food wrappers in there. Tuck them in there when you're like sleep snacking.
It happened to me today, literally today. Woke up and I was like, oh, I had a Pop-Tart. Don't remember when I ate it, but I had a Pop-Tart.
Those calories don't count though.
Well, you know what? Today they don't count because this is a great segue. I'm sure you already know, but if you don't, this weekend is Community Day.
Oh, I didn't realize, but thanks for the tip.
So I was like, well, I'm doing Community Day. I'm going to do it tonight because I'm busy tomorrow, which is why we're doing the podcast now. Yes, I'm going to walk at like 1 or 2 in the morning or something, but I'll be watching SmackDown, so it's not all day. There's something else I want to say.
That'll be good.
1 or 2 in the morning, which day? On Community Day or the day out? It's going to be tonight.
Yeah. There's Community Day and Pikmin Bloom now is 2 days, so you always have the weekend to do it on.
So,
which one of those days is your favorite?
Oh, that was pretty good.
Next week coming up.
You got the whole weekend to do it, both all of Saturday and all of Sunday. So you want to do it at 1 a.m. on Saturday if you can.
Yes, exactly. Right. That's right. I just
makes sense.
That's embarrassing. I just want to get it over with because I don't know if I've made this clear over the years, but I don't like doing
right?
it.
It's not. You have to do it 10,000 in one of those days. It's not over both days. So you have to do 10,000 steps on either Saturday or Sunday.
But say at 1 a.m. today, you do 5,000 steps rather than the full 10. And then tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening, you do another 5,000.
That would count. That would count.
That's lame. That they make it 2 days, but it doesn't carry over. It's got to be 10,000 in one day.
Well, you know what? I would say it's not lame because before you had 1 day to do it, and now you have 2 chances to do it.
Yeah, I think it's just to make things easier in case folks are busy one of the days.
And somebody, they're out there hoofing it, and they get home and they're like, I don't know why they're looking at their phone, but they're like,
Are they looking at their phone or their watch? They look like their watch to me.
That's
Nicky
what that would
pantomiming
be.
a watch and called it a
You
phone.
don't keep your phone on your
talking
wrist.
like Dick Tracy's out there.
Oh, okay,
getting his steps in, and he's like, oh man, I hit 9,800 today.
9,800.
And so then tomorrow I got to do the full 10 again, rather than just 200.
That was a really great story.
Thank you, Josh. At least somebody understands me.
How about this? How about you try saying something positive now?
Don't be a sweaty.
I can't do it.
He's dying. He's dying in front of us. So yes, I'll be doing that tonight. Just want to make sure you knew because you saved my bacon that one time. I see the question, Tater Tot. How long are my walks? Every day I do a 55-minute walk. No, every other day I do 55 minutes, and every other day I do an hour and 15. So hour 15, 55. Hour 15, 55. So how much is it mileage-wise? It's 2.5 to 3 miles, somewhere in there. And I've been doing it while watching Sex Education because I promised my sister I would watch that show. It's 4 seasons long. I've officially finished the
41
third season.
years old, and he's just learning now, everybody.
And,
not gonna lie, I'm sweating a little bit.
I'll share my thoughts on that show when I'm done with it. But let's just say
That's
not
where
enjoying
babies
it.
come from.
It's got Scully, whatever her name is, Gillian Anderson. That's nice.
Gillian,
right? GIF or
Gilligan,
GIF? Gillian or Gillian?
Gilligan Anderson, I believe.
Yes, that's what it is. Hello, Khufu, the Mummy, and Alternate Liz, and Ice Stillbird, and Drake, and Tater Tot. Oh my God, Mom Brain is in here. And Ice Stillbird, and Nightwind, and No Blades, No Bows, and Giant Reggie, and Roth, and Malik Halo, and whoever else I didn't see. Let me get this out of the way before we move on to something else. We are doing trivia today. So 2 things. If you haven't played trivia, I would love for you to get in on trivia. Second, if you haven't played trivia and you would like the chance to participate today, please in the Discord type I want to play trivia in all capital letters, and then maybe you'll be one of the lucky few chosen. And we'll get into the rules again later, but I'll give you a few. Hello, Radical Defect. Mom Brain is here now. Hi, Sprigget. Good to see you. Sprigget is watching at the final hour of his work day. Now, that's how you end the day at work. I hope you got some exciting things planned. That's how you end your
contract at work.
I can't do any work right now. I'm busy, as you can see. I'm watching this podcast.
Yeah,
I'm trying to play.
Don't bother
game
coming
trivia.
in Monday.
It's Mom Brain. It's okay. She just
that's
got
Mom
here.
Brain. Oh,
yes.
What was she doing?
Did you hear what I said earlier? Oh, Mom Brain's here.
I thought. Well, you were saying while you were going through names.
Earlier. Yes, it's her. I promise.
Your words are as empty as your soul.
I was just gonna say.
There she is.
Hello.
Oh my God!
Wow.
You are the best. You are the best. For like what, a month now? Yeah. I've been saying I really want Annie Ann's. I've had a hankering for Annie Ann's, but where do you go to Annie Ann's? Malls are dead, and what else you got? There's Walmart, and I guess that's where you went. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry. They have that at Walmart?
Eat it now. Some Walmarts have Annie Ann's inside them. It's either a Subway or an Annie Ann's.
Wow.
I told them you're probably not going to be here, but you would probably pop in and say hello. So there you go. How was Target? Great?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You okay?
It's time for me.
Wow.
Okay. Have a nice one.
Yep, I will.
Good. Nice knowing you.
It's been an honor and a privilege.
Thank you. Watch that wire.
You got it.
See ya.
Man, that's great.
Wow.
Oh, that's so exciting.
The last thing he ever said to Mom Brain, watch that wire.
That's code. That means I love you.
No, it doesn't.
Well, he needs that for the internet. I mean,
That's right.
if she breaks that wire, then he's done.
How am I going to tell the world that she's no longer with us? Okay. So there's some things to get into before the show, as usual. Again, thanks for joining us on this Random Friday show. I have a family function to attend tomorrow. That's why we're doing it today. Thank you, Nicky Hill and Deux, for joining on this Random Friday show. I appreciate you dedicating your time. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to do one thing and then we'll go to trivia. I just want to give people some time. Again, go to the Discord. Make sure you're in the podcast channel. Say, I want to play trivia, all capital letters. We'll randomly pick one. Just please make sure you are ready to play. But first, let's get into some other stuff. Deux, I got a special message for you sent to me personally through Patreon. That's not the only way to message me. You don't have to do that. You can send me an email at rawmeatcowboy@gmail.com or message me on GoNintendo as well. But Love My NES decided to reach out through Patreon to share a message with me for Deux. So here you go, Deux.
I'm listening.
They say, I'm not sure the best way to reach out to Deux. And this can wait for a Patreon question. It's not taking the place of a Patreon question. But I wanted to thank Deux for his Animal Crossing updates on the podcast, as I really enjoy them. I'm 40 with 2 kids, and since the game was released, I have a daily routine to wake up before work, make some tea, and just catch up with my Islanders each day. I haven't missed a day. It's relaxing, and I love it. I was curious, what Islanders does Deux currently have?
Mm-hmm.
There's more to it, but I'll let you answer that.
Sure. Yeah, I have Genji, Phoebe, Ellie, Fauna. I've got Lucky, Ozzy, Shino, Sherb, Cephalobot, and
He could just be making it.
and
I feel like we're about
Meringue.
to summon some
It's a
like
spell, yeah, right? Here comes Cthulhu.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned all 10.
That's an Islander who cares right there. So
Yeah,
you can remember all of them.
I love all my villagers. It really is such a charming game,
And
and I do a very
say-
similar thing as you may know. I wake up early, I drink my coffee, and I go through, and it's just a beautiful morning every morning. I don't know, I just really love it.
You want to turn that camera a little bit more towards you since you're hanging back?
Oh no, I can lean. I
Okay.
just
Getting choked up about his story?
Oh my
sometimes I back away. Sometimes I lean in.
Just like Chocolate Rain Guy.
But I can move it if you still want.
No, it's fine. Second part. What do you enjoy most about the game?
There's just there's a lot, but I don't know. There's like a really calming sense of just not
Calm is the right word.
almost nothing. You know, like it just makes the troubles, like it pushes troubles into the background, and it's very calm, and there's no stakes. It's very positive. All the villagers are very sweet, and there's just a lightness and a positivity towards almost every single character. There's so much personality, and the fact that every single day, that like whatever you put into it too, you kind of get out of it. So, you know, every single day you're there, and the things that you've done to build your island the way it is because of the journey that you've taken playing it since I want to say September or something, maybe August. So yeah, I get in there every single morning, and even though I'm not always doing something quote important, it's important for me in the real world. Just from like a stress perspective, it's been really, really great for my peace of mind. So yeah, love the game. Almost don't know how I got on without it, to be honest. It's one of those things where can't believe I ever do Michael's did. You know what I mean? Like saw the graphics, saw the childishness or the perceived childishness, and was just like, you know what, this is not for me. And what a mistake that would have been.
So
now it is for you.
you're you're still playing that crap?
Oh,
Every
there it is.
morning, baby.
They say, hope you're all doing well and thank you for the many years of this amazing podcast. Well, thank you for the personal message, the kind words, and reaching out to Deux. Yes, it's been great to see Deux get into Animal Crossing. I always had a feeling that it would be a game you'd enjoy, but I found it to be too hard of a sell. So I'm glad on your own it just found its way into your life. All right.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Let's do some. Hi, Rex. Good to see you. Hello, Axel. Good to see you. I notice you. Don't worry. Your senpai notices you. Let's go pick out somebody to play trivia. Please forgive me. I'm going to do it a random way. I'm just going to scroll back and forth until I see something. Hello, Tentavision. Good to see you. And it stops on. Okay, it stops on Tater Tot. Tater Tot, you are our lucky player.
Can we? Is that fair? I'm sure Spud is there, right?
Oh, that. Well, you know what? I'll allow it this time.
You're gonna have to ask twice the questions.
Tater Tot, I am messaging you in private on Discord. I'll send you the old friend request to friend request sent. Please message me privately, Tater Tot. Respond to my Discord message. DM me in Discord chat. This is the sound of my voice. We will be doing trivia again. Well, you know what?
Not there.
Huh?
Spud is not listening tonight.
Oh, there we go. I got a response from Tater Tot. Okay. Here's how trivia works. There are 5 questions. I will read the question. The trivia music will play. You have to answer the question before the trivia music ends. Josh Grobot, the one and only, I didn't say hi's, will be telling you if you're correct or incorrect. And then at the end of it all, we will roll a virtual dice, depending on the questions you got correctly. Say you answered 1, 3, 4 correctly. If we roll a 1, 3, or 4, you win. Also, if you roll a 6, you win no matter what, because a 6 is a win, even if you fail all the questions. So plenty of chances to win. Josh Grobot, how are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Thanks for being here for trivia. I apologize for not saying hello.
That is correct.
Thank you, Josh. And of course, George is here. George, how you doing, my friend?
So great. Thanks for
There we
asking.
go.
Well, George, no.
Anything to share, George? Or just excited about trivia? Or
Just feeling mine.
feeling lime? I like it. All right, Tater Tot. It is time for trivia. Again, I will read the question. The music will begin, and I need your answer before the music ends.
You know, the Riddler, his color is green like lime.
That is correct.
You two are good.
Very
two are
astute,
good.
George.
All right, question number 1, Tater Tot. Here we go. Name one of the 3 starters in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Just one of them. There are 3 starters in that game. I'm looking for just one of them. Your choice. Can you name one of the 3 Pokemon starters from Pokemon Sword and Shield? I don't see any typing. I don't see any answer. The music is over. I still don't have an answer. I don't know what to do here. Oh, I see typing now. They say sorry. Sorry, I'm late. Sorry, I don't know the answer. Sorry, I wasn't listening. Sorry, I screwed up. I see more typing. Josh, feel free to vamp. Oh, blanked on it. Blanked on it. Okay, so it's a no response. It's an ad. That is
incorrect.
That is incorrect. It's okay, Tater Tot. You have plenty more chances to win. The starters were Grookey, Scorbunny, and Sobble. I did not go with Scarlet and Violet because I figured that's a little too easy. So we went last generation. All right, question number 2. How many Robot Masters are there in the original Mega Man? So the first Mega Man game on NES.
New Horizons.
What is happening? We have Tater Tot's answer, and apparently Deux believes that you're going to fail. Welcome
no
to your
idea
doom.
how I did that.
Okay, so how many Robot Masters are in the original Mega Man? Tater Tot says 6. Josh, your response?
That is correct.
That is correct. Very good, very good. There are 6. It's an oddity. Almost every, well, no, I believe every Mega Man after that has 8 Robot Masters, but Mega Man 1 has 6. So that's a point on the board for you.
Just
Nicky
feeling
Hill,
it
could
out.
you do me a favor and just remember what ones he gets correct?
No. I'll write it down.
Uh,
I'll do you one.
number 2 is correct.
Dr. Wowie.
Number 3, question number 3. What is the name of the conductor/composer who guides you in Wii music? What is that delightful little character's name? I don't want to describe the character, but they are in Wii music. They guide you through the whole experience. They're a lovely person. What is their name? A name we have often talked about on the podcast. I see typing, so I will allow it. Typing began before the music ended. No answer, never played it. Josh?
That is incorrect.
That is incorrect. You have played it. I'm so sorry. The correct answer is Sebastian Toot. Sebastian Toot was the answer. That's okay. We have more questions. Question number 4. How many 100% brand new Zelda games were made for the Game Boy Advance? We are not talking about spin-offs. We are not talking about re-released with extra content. We are talking 100% original Zelda games for the GBA. How many were there? Okay, we have an answer. Tater Tot, could you tell me what games you're picking? Because I do not have the same answer as you. Tater Tot says 2. I believe there to be 1, but I'm letting them type out the answer and we'll see what they say. Because my answer was Minish Cap, and that would be it. There's Link to the Past with bonus content. There's something else I'm forgetting.
That was a re-release, though?
Yeah, Link to the Past was on Super Nintendo. They put it out on GBA, plus it had the Four Swords expansion in it. Four Swords Adventure is what they said. And that may have been the DS. That was the DS. I don't know if it was a
That
DS,
is
but it
incorrect.
wasn't the GBA. It's incorrect.
That
It's
is incorrect.
Josh, no false hope here. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Tater Tot. But again, there's still another question. Question 5, the final question. What is the name of the dog-like companion in Pikmin 4? What is the name of that cute little dog-like companion in Pikmin 4? A new addition to the Pikmin franchise. And probably what would be the everybody's favorite, why it's such a big seller, because of this character. We have our answer.
I never thought someone could beat Louie, but something did.
Tater Tot's answer is Mochi. Josh, is that correct?
That is incorrect.
That is incorrect. I'm sorry. It's very close. It's Ochi, not Mochi. Ochi. Oh,
Was that the last question?
that was the last question, but
We still have to roll.
we still have to roll to see if they win.
All right,
Keeping the
fine.
mood.
Well, we'll do it in complete silence. How about that? Great game show.
So, we have
Number
what?
2.
Number 2. So we need to roll a 2 and a 6, or a 2 or a 6.
I mean,
for
I
you
want to
be a
say
win.
that all 5 were correct.
Well, that's very nice. I would like to say that as
I'm
well.
sorry.
As much as I love game shows, there are
are
instances
rules.
where game shows result in someone not winning. But here we go. I'm rolling the dice right now. There you go. 6-sided dice. And the roll was to be verified by the table.
6.
A 6. You won on the random roll.
All right.
6 saved your butt. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You are a winner, and you didn't even have to get any questions right. Congratulations, Tater Tot. You and Spud can celebrate your win on this lovely Friday. I will Discord direct message you probably tonight, maybe tomorrow. I need to go through what I got and give you some offers, but I'll let you know. And I know one of those is a link to the past with the bonus content, and one of those is a brand new game. Tater Tot, no, thank you for playing. And that just goes to show everybody, even if you miss some questions, you can still win. It happened here today. So, yes, I'll private message you later once I figure out what I got. And hopefully we'll give you something you enjoy. They say, Spud will be very disappointed in me biffing on Ochi. You were so close. When they make the sequel, Pikmin 5 will have Mochi, definitely. But for now, it's just Ochi. Thank you, Tater Tot. We appreciate it.
I also got to say, I mean, I'm never going to get any of these answers right, but I feel like this round's, like today's questions were really hard.
Some of them were tricky for me.
The only one I got right was the one I guessed with the Mega Man.
I figured it was a good mix. Like the Pokemon Starters one, I felt was easy. The Ochi one is easy because it's new. What were my other questions? Let me go back. The Mega Man one is a bit tricky.
I mean, now you're going to have people like listeners doing homework to beef up their knowledge because
play more Nintendo games.
I don't know Pokemon.
The Mega Man one is tricky. The Wii Music one is the trickiest, I think.
Soon you're going to start asking what are the Palworld starters?
The Zelda one, I
thought that was tricky, but I always get my handheld Zeldas mixed up.
Yeah,
what were Oracle
that was Game Boy
Color, not Game Boy Advance.
Not Game Boy Advance, no. Yes. That's why I went specifically with GBA because there was only one like brand new one on there. So I figured that would narrow it down. If I was like, how many Zelda games were on the Game Boy, that's tough. There's a decent amount. But anyway, thank you for playing. You're a winner, and that's all that matters. You would be a winner even if you didn't win the trivia, but you did. Thanks to the roll of the virtual. Thank you to Google Virtual Dice Roll. That's how we did it. All right. Now let's get into other stuff. Patreon posts, as I've been talking about. Here's what we talked about on Patreon this week. It's going to be one less than usual because we're doing the show on Friday. But you can participate in these conversations and chat with me on Patreon if you join it for $1. Thank you, Billy. What did we talk about this week? I did a post about WWE because I said, where does the story go from here? Which was about Cody Rhodes and how he shocked the world last Friday on SmackDown by saying he wasn't going to wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, which seemed like the death of a 2-year-long story. And everybody's like, what the hell is going on? Well, all I can say is, how things have changed since that day and how much has happened in a week's time. Most of which came from yesterday's special press event. They had a free press event that people could attend, and The Rock was there, and Roman Reigns was there, and Cody Rhodes was there, and Seth Rollins was there, and I don't want to ruin it if you haven't seen it, but it was probably he's nowhere near anything. Probably one of the best WWE things I have ever seen. And it shows just how much more interesting they're looking to make stories now that Triple H is doing 100% of everything and are not shackled by Vince still overseeing everything. Was it good. It was really good. So I wrote about where the story was going before we knew any of that. I also wrote about all the Microsoft craziness that happened this week because, again, a lot happened with Microsoft, and the internet is trying to figure out what the hell is going on with Microsoft because Microsoft says they're going to be updating everyone on their business come this week. Because we're hearing all this talk of Microsoft bringing a lot of their titles to PlayStation and Switch. We've heard the rumors for weeks now of Hi-Fi Rush coming to Switch, and that's all but assured at this point. I would argue it will probably be playing it in less than a week's time. But yeah, that's the worst kept secret right now. The Hi-Fi Rush is coming to Switch and PS5. But yeah, we're hearing that Microsoft is going to pivot and do things differently. And people are like, that's it. Microsoft's moving out of hardware. I don't think that will be the case. But clearly, Microsoft is not doing well in the hardware space, and they've been gobbling up companies as far as software goes. So it would make sense for them to pivot more towards bringing a lot of their games to every platform instead of all those games only to Xbox when people still don't seem to want to buy the Xbox. So we'll find out a lot more this coming week, but we'll talk about that in greater detail as details arrive. I also talked about the era of early CD soundtracks for video games, because I don't know how you would describe that as a music genre, but it is my sweet spot. I love that era when composers for video games were just getting to work with CDs, and they were like, oh my God, we have such high quality. We have so much space to work with. What do we do? So you get soundtracks like Final Fantasy VII, for example, where a lot of the instruments are MIDI, but there are a couple real instruments and there's singers. Like, it still sounds old school and it sounds new, and you're like, this is so cool.
This is a PlayStation Black Disc.
Something like
Symphony of the Night.
Symphony of the Night is a great example. It's got that synth sound to it, and there's real instruments in there too. Like, there's real guitar in some of those songs and all that, but a lot of that is MIDI stuff. Something like Spyro is another great example. The original Spyro might be one of the best examples of that style of music I'm talking about. It's very like new age Weather Channel. I don't know how to describe it, but I love that sound. And a lot of the games on Sega CD have that as well, because Sega CD was obviously before PlayStation. So that's where composers were really cutting their teeth. Like the Sonic CD soundtrack, especially the American version of the Sonic CD soundtrack. While they have songs, while the Japanese and the American versions have some similar songs between the two, the composer Spencer Nielsen over here in America did some of his own ideas and own riffs and own original content for our Sonic CD soundtrack, and I love the sound of that. So his Echo the Dolphin soundtrack is unbelievable. Man, is that good. And that's very exemplary of the kind of songs and music I'm talking about from that era. So really into that kind of soundtrack, and we don't really hear too much of it nowadays, but it happens every now and again. I talked about the Fortnite Disney announcement. Did you hear that, Nicky Hill?
Yes. That's in game. That's electronic. That's not.
It's in game for now, but I was saying I would imagine I would imagine it's a foot in the door for some kind of physical something
there's
down
supposed
the road.
to be. I think there's talk of a new Disney park in Florida, and it would. I mean,
well, we saw the boys down there a couple weeks
seems
ago.
like they.
With their hard hats on.
The Universal is doing their thing, and Disney's like, we need video games too.
Yeah, I just have like, it's like 1.8 billion.
1.5 billion Disney has spent on Epic for it's like a 10% stake in Fortnite,
which is perfect because the new park for Universal is like called Epic World or something. So then Disney.
They're going to call it Universal
Epic,
World.
And they have their Epic World.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man. Then people are going to be spending money. Oh, wait, this is where I want to be.
So I was writing
That's
about how it's like the first step towards the realization of the Oasis from Ready Player One. Because Fortnite is very much becoming like, Facebook for a long time. I'm sorry, Meta for a long time has talked about the metaverse and all that stuff. And everybody's like, this is not a thing and you're not doing anything. You made like me's that nobody cares about. While as Epic with Fortnite is making it a reality. There's Fortnite baseline. There's all the creative islands that people can make on their own. There's the Lego thing now. There's the music thing now. There's the racing thing now.
So we need to
got
start
the Disney thing coming up.
We need to start
investing in Fortnite,
purchasing land in
virtual
Fortnite
plots,
just like they did with Second Life.
Second Life, yeah.
And get in on the ground floor.
Also this week, overshadowed greatly by this announcement, Trevor Noah opened a virtual comedy club in Fortnite. So you go there and hear real comedians perform. And I don't know how often the set list changes, but it's a rotating cast of comedians, up-and-comers, and people you've heard of. It's a cool idea, yeah. I haven't gone to check it out myself yet, but I definitely want to, because I'm down to hear new comedians. And we were just talking about this. Oh, I was talking about it with family. I hear in recent years, a lot of the music that I end up enjoying is coming from Fortnite. because I hear it in the radio stations in the cars. And I mean, you and I and the people we play with just recently have been like, this song's really good. What is this? And we go look it up on YouTube.
Like that Mikey's Circus. That's that old lady trying to read Miley Cyrus.
It was
a joke.
It
was a joke.
So,
right, but creep, boom.
Fortnite, when you're in cars driving around, they have radio stations and they all play different music. And there are a couple that play like popular songs, like you'll hear The Weeknd and stuff like that. But a lot of the stations are geared towards giving new musicians and new creators the spotlight. And in the last month alone, I've heard at least 5 songs that I made a point to go look on YouTube to learn about the artist. I'm like, I actually really like this stuff. So
kind of like
it's really cool.
That whole system that Joseph Gordon-Levitt was trying to work on, where like artists work through that and they can release their content through that.
We've had a lot of people or companies talk about what they want to do and not really do it. And Epic doesn't talk about it. And it's just like, here it is.
Yeah.
Also, the only gripe I have is in the trailer for this Disney Fortnite thing. It says coming soonish. And then I asked Bob Iger, when is this launching? And he's like, a couple years. So who knows how long we're going to be waiting. But I can easily see why they wanted to announce it, because it's a huge deal and to get people excited. And B, something like this is going to take a very long time to put together. Obviously, years of work have already gone into it, but it's going to be a while until you see it fully realized. And it'll be, according to them, a place to play and shop and watch and interact with Disney content. So they show Star Wars and Marvel and Avatar and Pixar and regular Disney and all that.
I just saw like images and I was like, is this just like basically like, are you playing in the layout of the Disney parks or something? But
it's a wholly original space, virtual space. Yeah. But again, I'm sure you'll be able to go there and be like, hey,
am I going to have to pay $150 a day?
We don't know if it's a subscription service or anything like that.
No, but like you pay for like park admission.
I would imagine what they'll do is the same thing they've done with Fortnite so far, which is given them billions of dollars. You download it for free and then you spend microtransactions on things that you want. It's worked so well for them now. I don't know why they would pivot to anything else. But yeah, imagine going into Fortnite with your friends and being like, hey, Moana 2 is out and we can watch it digitally in Fortnite all together and talk to each other while we're watching it. So spend, I don't know, $12 for a digital movie ticket, $10 or something, and have that experience with friends and you don't got to leave the house.
Outstanding.
For some stuff, certainly I would do that. Others, like Marvel, I'm still going to go to the theaters to see, but they're like the latest Pixar movie. If we could be like, hey, you got a friend across the country and a couple friends here and we could see it, and we could be like, I already got the V-Bucks. Why not? I'll watch it here. We could watch it that way. So who knows? That's all speculation. But yes, Disney, Epic working together in Fortnite, all of Disney's properties, from Disney to Pixar to Marvel to Star Wars to Lucas, like Indiana Jones and all that stuff. It's all going to be there in some way. So thick as those two companies, Disney and Epic, were already thick as thieves because of all the collaborations in Fortnite. We've had a Marvel Island or season in Fortnite. There's been all kinds of Disney content already.
A lot of that stuff is already like in. Yeah, you know, they've. What am I trying to say? Like they've already done
testing the waters.
They've already introduced a lot of those like skins and characters and everything. So they're already Spider-Gwen, they're still there.
Yeah, it's very clear Disney at first was like, okay, we'll try some things in Fortnite, and they've seen not just how much money it made, but how it raises brand awareness and all that. And they're like, over the last few years, have obviously been like, okay, there's something to this, and they wanted to work together more with Epic.
What's the Disney game that's out right now too? Like
there's a whole bunch. The Animal Crossing style one, Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Oh, that's like Animal Crossing. I thought it was. Like...
I don't know what game you're asking me about.
No, I think that's the one. It's like it was a big release.
It's like
recently.
Make a house and decorate it and make a farm and grow stuff.
Is it like online, like MMO, or like an open world?
I believe you can play with other people, and it is a free-to-play game with microtransactions. Just like Disney Speedstorm is another free-to-play game that is racing related. So basically, Disney worked with Gameloft and a couple other companies to do what Fortnite is already doing. And they're like, maybe we should just work with Epic. So,
what about their platformer with Mickey and Goofy?
The Switch exclusive
Disney
Illusion Island.
Yeah.
What about it?
Oh, it's a game. It's out. It's Disney. Good work. I don't know.
Yes. Yes, that's a Switch exclusive
No, I
platform.
thought that Dreamlight Valley was more of like a an online experience where people can interact there, like a Second Life sort of thing already.
You can play online with
That's
people,
why
yeah, but
like
it's
interesting that like they're doing it and then they're like, you know what? Let's do this again, but with this other company that can really do it.
well, again, we don't know what exactly they're going to do with this collaboration, other than it's going to be a virtual entertainment space for
They
Disney
want to
content.
do Disney Fortnite greeting cards, and this is the only way they can do it. Just they just have to spend $1.5 billion on cards.
Well, that's the other
It's
thing.
going to be great when it finally is done. And Valentine's Day.
Think
have a bunch of
about, like,
Valentines coming out.
I know
Valentine's.
$1.5 billion is a lot, but think of like how much cheaper it is to make a virtual space where upkeep is not needed in the sense that a physical space is, and you can constantly, very easily update it to be exactly in line with whatever your catalog is. So like whenever Disney's got a new something coming out, the Disney Fortnite space could be ready for it right then and there. Whereas doing that in a physical space is much harder. You can't just update rides on a whim or add in new attractions on a whim. It takes years of planning. So obviously there's planning involved in a digital space as well, but it's, easier to create that stuff. And I'm sure, Disney, there are people at Disney who actually know what this is all about and how it works and why it's a good idea. Bob Iger doesn't have any idea. His people were like, we should do this. And he's like, okay, he does, probably doesn't even know what Fortnite is, to be honest, but
Well,
he doesn't have to.
Oh man, what's up here? Radical Defect said, "How about them video gamers?" Says the guy who closed down LucasArts and Disney Interactive years ago.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. I think Iger's better than the guy that they just got rid of. He sucked. Whatever that guy's name was. And then last but not least,
Walt? No.
Christoph Waltz?
Walt Disney.
Walt Disney.
I wouldn't have a problem.
That's right. It was Walt Disney and then Bob Iger right after that. He's 165 years old.
Michael
Eisner, the weirdo from when we were kids. Yeah, the guy with the 1,000-yard stare.
Well, like I guess all the Disney parks and like a lot of the intellectual properties and stuff exploded. Like he really brought Disney.
Yes, he did a good job. He always made me uncomfortable, but I know in his later years, he was very good at the physical park stuff. But when it came to like the branching out into other stuff, he didn't really know what he was doing. But yes, for our time when we were kids, he was the guy. Disney is obviously multitudes bigger now and has their fingers in a million different pots and owns all. We're talking about an era of Disney when they didn't own Star Wars or Marvel and Pixar didn't exist and like all kinds of stuff. So
Fox.
Yeah, that's right. And then the only other thing I talked about was how I said about, as I've said in the past, when I'm working, I listen to lots of music on YouTube, and much of that is game related. And every day I open up YouTube and it's like, here's a playlist we've made for you. It's going to have stuff in it you heard and some stuff you haven't heard. And I played one the other day and I played a song and I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. Clicked over to the tab to see what it was. It's a game called Flipwitch. I need to say this right off the bat. Flipwitch is a very, very, very adult game. I have not played it, but I went down the rabbit hole just as anyone would. I was like, this song's awesome. Oh, it's a game called Flipwitch. What's Flipwitch? And I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's a Metroidvania, but it is triple X rated.
I would just automatically assume for some reason that it's like a cooking game where you're making like
let them cook
sandwiches or like paninis and you got to like, flip them on the grill, flip them on the plate, something like that. Or something about witches that you're flipping them, gotta use this spell. So like you got to flip to a different.
So again,
it sounds very, is it a mobile game?
No, it is not. It's on Steam. I haven't played the game, but based on the trailer, I would imagine it's named Flipwitch because you are a witch that flips. I don't know. I don't want to say genders, but you flip to look like other genders. So you'll be like a blue-haired witch or a pink-haired witch. And there's blocks that have like the male and female symbols on them for platforming sections where you need to flip your character in between to make the blocks appear or disappear. But again, This is very adult oriented. Do not go
There's a-
look this up if you are not of age.
But
I
I've seen
cannot stress
everything.
that enough. But what you can do is listen to the soundtrack because it's a killer soundtrack. The composer, I don't remember their name. That's terrible. They said they're like jazz, funk, EDM, JRPG influenced.
Mojo Jams.
Mojo Jams. There you go. That you can listen to the soundtrack for free on YouTube or Bandcamp or Apple Music, I think. The soundtrack could not be any more pinpointed on what I like. The soundtrack is so good. And if you go read the reviews of this game on Steam, everybody's like, this soundtrack is, as people say nowadays, God tier. I've listened to the soundtrack 3 times through already. It's fantastic.
I can't keep
it's
up
fantastic.
with these terms.
Well, God tier is not new. I don't like the term God tier, not because I'm offended. I just don't like it. It's a bop. The soundtrack's a bop. That's what I'll say. But yeah, go listen to the soundtrack if you like game music. It's so good. Now, what I will say is apparently the game is really good. I watched the trailer and I was like, this looks like a good Metroidvania. And also, I like the visual style. It's very detailed pixel art, above what you would see on a Super Nintendo. It'd be like something from the early PlayStation era. So I'm definitely gonna play this game because I like Metroidvanias. I love the soundtrack. I got nothing wrong with smutty games. You know how much I love Honey Pop, so I'm all about it. I'm definitely gonna check it out.
The game
but
is fun.
I can't think.
The game
Reggie's
is
a fan.
whoa.
A great soundtrack in any game will get me to play the game without a doubt. But there's plenty of smutty games that are fun to play, but their music is, either there or there and bad. I can't think of one. Honey Pop's got a good soundtrack, but I don't listen to it. But it was good. But I can't think of any other smutty or adult game that has a killer soundtrack. This soundtrack, in my opinion, is so good. It should be nominated for Soundtrack of the Year, among other whatever else comes up. This game came out apparently very late 2023, like November or something. So I didn't hear about it until now, but I'm glad the YouTube algorithm picked to show it to me. Great soundtrack. So if you're into game music, check that out. But again, the game is very adult. You can't even check it from a browser on Steam. It gives you it's like, sorry, you got to be logged in to see this because the trailer does not pull any punches. And the game on Steam is uncensored, which is not how it usually goes. So if you like Metroidvanias, you're of age, and you like those kind of games, then I would suggest you take a look. But other than that, stay away, people.
But I've seen everything.
Now, before we get into regular news, do you guys have anything you want to talk about?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all good.
All right.
I'm not here to talk about myself.
Okay.
But let me just tell you this one thing that no, I'm kidding.
Let's go into news. Thank you, Do.
Finally.
We started off the week with okay, so it was Nintendo financial briefing this week. I haven't said this. Something else I gotta say.
No, we're in the news now.
I am
Don't shift it.
very tired because of all the news that was covered this week. I canceled movie night this week because of something that was coming out, and then it never came out, but other stuff came out that week or this week. But yes, a lot to do, and the financial stuff finally ended today at 6 a.m. So I'm happy I'm out from underneath that, and then I'm sure this coming week will be a Nintendo Direct. But lots of sales information to talk about, and I posted a story in the beginning of the week that we now have confirmation on. Believe it or not, the Switch is now Japan's best-selling game hardware ever. Any game system that has ever launched in Japan has sold less than the Switch, and the Switch is still selling incredibly well. So the Switch is going to be the best-selling hardware in Japan ever by a considerable margin. That is so mind-blowing to me. To go from the Wii U, which was an abject failure from a sales standpoint, to the Switch being literally the best-selling game hardware ever in Japan's entire history. That's crazy to turn things around like that. Do Michaels, Nicky Hill. That's the image I made for this post. Do you know what is behind the Switch? Can you guess? Well, I don't want to say anymore.
Is it King
King
Ralph?
Ralph.
It is King Ralph. Yes. Yes, good job, both of you. Yes, King Ralph is what I used for the image. But yeah, there you go. So the
An officer
previous
and a gentleman.
the previous record holder was the DS. The DS sold 32.9 million units in Japan alone. The Switch is now at 1 million units or something like that. So it did it. Your new number one. So you are hearing that correctly. Not only does Nintendo have the number one best-selling system in Japan, they also have the number two best-selling system, and they also have the number three best-selling system. Three was the Game Boy Color at 32.4 million sold. So the Switch reigns supreme, and that is quite a feather in the cap of Nintendo to be the number one best-selling piece of gaming hardware in your home country. What an achievement. Steister says, all hail the king. The Switch is on top. Yeah. Will Switch's successor beat it? Analysts say no. We say maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, well, what, like GameCube was
GameCube.
meh, and then the Wii came out and it was like,
Hi,
wow.
Super Sanchez.
And then the Wii U came out and it was like, meh, or actually just a flat no. And then the Switch came out and was like, whew. So
yes, I agree with all those noises.
Switch 2 will.
I agree with that noise. We just don't know. Hi, Backseat Studios. Good to see you. Sorry, I haven't been in Discord in a second. I've been typing a lot or talking a lot. So yeah, I mean, that's crazy. It's crazy. Good for Nintendo. Well deserved. Here is your financial breakdown. I will try to keep it to the most interesting things rather than the whole breakdown.
What if they call it like Switch 360?
So Nintendo's most popular system and Microsoft's most popular system combined name-wise?
Switch 360.
Well, it rolls off the tongue, that's for sure.
Switch 60. Switch 3, yeah, whatever. They're not going to name it that. Come on.
How about 360?
Oh, done. Especially because it's the second. It's Switch 2, but they name it 3.
They thought about it. Not my name. I'm sure Deux, Spiders and Flies could hear some sort of rumor about the name of the Switch successor by the end of today's show.
Maybe they could.
Okay, so we have quarter 3 results for Nintendo for the current fiscal year. So that's 9 months of the fiscal year. 3 months in particular is what the new data is. Third quarter, yes. Switch is now at 139 million units sold worldwide. 139.36 to be exact.
I don't think they're going to hit 1 billion.
1 billion units sold? No, but they did break 1 billion units software sold, and they did that a while ago, which is another insane number. This 9-month period, the Switch has seen 24 million plus selling titles. That's 17 from Nintendo and 7 from third parties. So a good split there. Hardware in the last 3 quarters combined reached 13 million, almost 14 million. They sold another 163 million units of software during this 9-month period, and blah, 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 blah. We don't need to get into the weeds with the rest of it, but we will give you the million sellers. This is our first sales figure for Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Nintendo already said it was the fastest selling Mario game of all time, and Nintendo has now said it continues to be the fastest selling Mario game of all time. Mario Wonder has sold just shy of 12 million units so far. It's at 11.96. So it did that. Again, it's higher than that because this only goes up to December. So you have what did it launch? October 20th?
Also, they don't count digital sales.
Nintendo counts their own digital sales. Yeah.
Damn it.
October,
we were so close.
November and December. That's what you get. So you get October from the 20th to the end. Then, so basically, it's 2.5 months worth of data. Gets you 12 million units sold. Fastest selling Mario game ever. And you might remember that when Spider-Man 2 and Mario came out in the same week, was it the same day? Everybody was like, "Oh, Spider-Man outsold Mario." It was very close to each other. They were very, very close. And again,
they didn't count digital.
They didn't count digital
that time.
And who did? Why? What? Oh, because it was Nintendo.
That's right. And there were other smarter people who said, "Remember, one of these is going to be a much longer tail seller than the other, meaning Mario will be over Spider-Man." And what have you heard about Spider-Man sales now?
No.
What
is
you heard
it
about?
still out? Did they still have the game out?
The game is out. Yeah, I'm sure it's still selling well, but like Nintendo titles have long tails. Other companies' titles do not. They have a boop down, and that's it.
How about that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tail.
That's a tail. That's a tail. We'll
What are
get
they
to
at,
the
like-
tail about that tail in a minute.
Oh.
A tale to tell.
Tears of the Kingdom is at 20.28 million units sold. Pikmin 4, 3.33 million units sold.
Ochi and the boys.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is at a whopping 60.58 million units sold. So good idea to re-release that one on the Switch.
Lakitu's raking it in.
Yeah, that's very true. Those coins, you got to pay them to get picked back up. They add up. Animal Crossing New Horizons is at 44.7 million units sold. Smash is at 33.6 million. Breath of the Wild is at 31.6 million. That includes the Wii U number as well. Super Mario Odyssey is at 27 million. Pokemon Sword and Shield is at 26 million. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is at 24 million. So almost surpassing Sword and Shield, which have been out for years. Super Mario Party is at 20 million. Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe is at 17 million. Super Mario RPG, our first number for that game, because again, it launched during this quarter. This is our first official sales report. 3.14 million units sold. And you know what that means? In 6 weeks, the game outsold the Super Nintendo version's entire lifetime install. So I think it was a good idea to re-release that one, or remake that one, I should say. The Super Nintendo one sold like 2-something million, 2.2 million. I don't remember. So 3.14 in 6 weeks. Good job. Switch Sports is at 12.5 million. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is at 13 million. Mario Party Superstars is at 12 million. Luigi's Mansion 3 is at just shy of 14 million, which puts it 3 times higher than the previous title. And then Splatoon 3 is at 11.7 million units. And those are all the sales Nintendo updated everybody on as far as newcomers and long tail sellers.
Do you think Luigi's Mansion 3 numbers inspired them to bring the second one like they're doing?
Yeah, very likely, yes. Because if it goes the trend of Super Mario RPG, it will outsell the original.
They're not remaking it though, right?
It's like an
port.
HD. It's
It
not.
has
Yeah, it's
to
not
be remade in a way, doesn't it?
Not really. It's just they're using the same assets and everything. It's just HD now.
Instead of 3D.
Well, that's very true.
40 3D.
That's
3D,
right.
3D.
No
3D HD 3D.
So yeah,
2D,
I
3D,
imagine they're cleaning up some of the assets, but by and large, it's the same thing, just put over on Switch. So,
Man.
yes, but that is probably a good reason why they're like, well, this sold 3 times more than the last one. People are hungry for Luigi's Mansion. Let's give them the one they didn't really play too much of the last time.
I'm interested to see how that shakes out on the
It
Switch.
should at least match the sales of the 3DS one. I'd be surprised if it didn't, but I've been wrong. But yeah, trending with all the other remakes and remasters they've done, it certainly points to that doing
Well,
better.
I guess I'm gonna have to buy it on the Switch as well. I bought it on the 3DS and never
Didn't play
played it, but I'm just gonna have to buy it on the other one
and
just
then you
to,
could compare.
to make sure that they sell just as well.
You never played that one?
No, it's just sitting there.
Man, that Link Between Worlds. I know we said it last week.
I have
or
that too.
something.
I do have it.
That's the one.
Bum,
That's the one
bum,
that you need to
bum,
play.
bum. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. Nintendo showed their calendar of first-party releases. Nothing new in there.
Their
All
calendar
stuff we know.
of firefighters,
Uh,
oiled up firefighters.
what do we got in there? Mario versus Donkey Kong, which comes out next week. Remember, there's a free demo. Princess Peach Showtime is March 22nd. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is
Can we just
summer
comment on that?
2024 is all that they say.
I feel like we're almost halfway through February already. Like March 22nd is like right around the
Not
corner.
far off. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is just 2024. We don't know when. And they still have Metroid Prime 4 listed as a temporary name, as they always do. Also listed as to be announced for a release date. So who knows? Don't take that as any indication of anything, because that's literally what it has always been since they announced that they were scrapping development. So no change there. Kuribo says just 19 million more Switch hardware sales to dethrone the PS2. There you go, dude. We were talking about that beforehand. So it's 19 million more.
Not too shabby. They
And
did
that's
do it.
worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah. So congrats to Nintendo and the third-party developers on their continued success. We covered
I
that.
bet you Doug Bowser's just gonna buy 19 million himself, put him in his garage, and be like, "We did it on my watch."
It's a big garage. I want to see that garage.
It's You'll hear more about it later.
Digging yourself a hole here. Yeah, Nintendo. Okay, so everybody's like, "Where's Switch 2? I want the Switch 2." As we've probably shown right now, the Switch business is still doing incredibly well, especially for a system in its 7th year. So, why Nintendo? So Nintendo's definitely working on a Switch successor, but not chomping at the bit to put it out. And yes, I know it is champing.
Wait,
But chomping is what people usually say.
PlayStation 2 kept selling even though they had PlayStation 3, and even when they had the PlayStation 4 out, right?
I don't want to say 4. I'll go along with 3. I mean, but if it was still selling by 4, we're talking about like tens of units.
But like, would Nintendo keep
They've always done that.
manufacturing the Switch?
Yeah, they do it with everything. Not for a very long time, but they do. Usually a year and a half afterwards.
Yeah, but that's not enough to
Remember the red and black Wii that was
Like-
very tiny with none of the extra ports?
I don't know, maybe, but like,
Maybe I remember.
I just feel like the PlayStation 2 was being manufactured and being sold.
Oh, it was
like,
being manufactured because people were still buying it.
years and years and
Man,
years.
by
ago.
the
It was a
end,
very long
it was
time.
like this thin.
Yeah,
Oh, that's it too.
Did you have the thin PS1 at any point?
No, I only had the.
I always
Ridge.
liked the look of that, like that, the small form factor one. But
Mhm.
I only had the original. Yeah, I had the original of all of them, but for some reason at PS1, I was like, I like that. Anyway, people are like, I want Switch 2. Well, here's what Nintendo said about Switch 2. Nothing, but their president did talk a little bit about their fiscal year. So their next fiscal year begins March 2024 and goes to March 2025. And Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa wanted everyone to know that the Switch will remain Nintendo's, quote, main business, end quote, as we get deeper into 2024. So that doesn't mean that a Switch successor won't come out 2024. He just wants everybody to know, hey, Switch is where we're going to be making our money, the bulk of our money in 2024. If you're putting out a new system, you never know how much it's going to sell, and launch sales may be big, but they're not going to be a huge contributor to your overall money coming in. So if a Switch successor does come out, it'll be a smaller piece of Nintendo's pie. Switch will remain the main business.
And if it goes on sale, like if it does come out by like September, or like when do they usually release? September? October?
September to
November?
November. Well, I won't say September. I'll say October to November.
So yeah, if they release within the last 3 months of the year, like obviously.
But that's the year and not the fiscal year. Those are different. I just want to stress
the
that.
fiscal year goes till March of,
Yes.
of next year. So
Oh, by the way, somebody asked
December.
me to burp. Asked me
it would
why I
have
don't
to
burp
like
as much
if
on the
it's
show.
going to release this year.
I
and
think it's going to be this year.
What?
I think it's going to be this year.
Oh,
And it has to come before December.
Yeah, they don't want to miss holiday season.
Yeah.
Imagine.
So okay.
The Switch
I
was the anomaly because they were like, Wii U is bad. So they were like, March, Switch, here it comes. We're like, March, putting out in March, but it worked out for them. So then maybe they could look at that and be like, you know what? We had the right mix of hardware and software at the right time. We could do another March. Maybe they would. I don't know.
Lousy smart.
But yes, you would
releases.
imagine traditionally you want to be out with your biggest things at the holiday season. That would be. And as I was saying to do earlier,
But is it good? Is
keeping
it a good idea to
Switch
do it that
sales
late?
going, what's the big holiday season game for Switch this year? This year holiday season, because we had Super Mario Brothers Wonder to lead us out of 2023. What would be 2024's if they want to keep that momentum going? Maybe I said a Pokemon remake seems like the way to go. That doesn't take as much money, time, effort. Not that it doesn't take those things. It does, but lesser than a brand new title. And that would be a big holiday seller. So that could keep Switch momentum going. Maybe that'd be enough for them to be like, okay, we'll hold off until March for Switch 2.
And if they're going to do that, then they're going to release limited edition Switch.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that
definitely.
that are branded to that.
Poke Switch.
I'll put my stamp of approval on Switch 2. We're going to see it this year.
We're all falling asleep.
We're gonna see it this year. We're gonna see something about the Switch's successor this year. That's not a crazy prediction to make. As Paul Heyman says, that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. So this year we're going to see something without a doubt. Curbo says fiscal year 2024, right? So your main business until April 1st? No, that is not what they mean. Wishful thinking, but yeah, I don't think it's much longer at all until we see what Nintendo has been working on, what they've been cooking, as the kids say. We did that. Sorry, Zelda, you're not good enough. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is 2023's second best-selling game, shot down by Hogwarts Legacy. It was close, people. It was close. Hogwarts Legacy sold 22 million units. Tears of the Kingdom sold 20.28.
I'm sorry. Like, if you have a game where half of its title is leg-assy, of course it's going to sell better.
Oh, legs and asses. Yeah, I get it. You're right. I understand.
Not a little pervert.
So that's a whopping turnout for Hogwarts Legacy, and more people are still buying the game, and the game just came to Switch a few months ago, and it's selling well there as well. Yeah, people love their Harry Potter, so they jumped in on a game, and from what I've heard, the game is very good. So
I don't think it's anything to be upset about for
not at all.
for Zelda.
no, because let's look at it this way. Hogwarts Legacy came out on what, 8 platforms? Zelda came out on 1? Like, yeah, it's great for both of them.
Plus, everyone loves Harry Potter, where only video game people would know who Zelda is.
It's getting better, but I'll agree with that on most part. Yeah, Zelda is a video game franchise. Harry Potter is a entertainment franchise. It's everything. But once that live action Legend of Zelda movie comes out with, I wish I could think of somebody funny, Danny DeVito as Tingle, and
That's actually
Why
a
not
pretty
Danny
good
DeVito
tingle.
as Zelda?
Link as Zelda. Sure, Danny DeVito as Zelda. Sure, that's what it is. Yes, I agree with that definitely. Harry Potter has had a lot, like
No, actually,
the books and the movies, and
Danny DeVito as
Broadway
Link and Rhea Perlman as Zelda. I mean, why not?
It writes itself.
It does. So yeah, congratulations to Hogwarts Legacy. I have not played it. Deux has not played it. Nicky Hill's not played it. I believe Deux, you'll hop in at some point when the price is right.
Yeah, when the price is right, I'll do it.
Currybo says Sleeper Hit is in the right term, but I feel like no one talked about this game, not in the way people talked and shared experiences with Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, I get what you're saying. The talk was there, but more social chatter online goes to gamers talking about traditional video games, whereas the Harry Potter fans were just playing the game, and maybe they're talking about it in other areas like Tumblr and on YouTube and stuff like that. But I get what you're saying. Yes, one was much more talked about than the other. Not that Hogwarts Legacy wasn't talked about. It was to a great deal. But I do understand what you are saying.
And Hogwarts Legacy came to the Switch very late.
Just a couple months ago, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? And I applaud that decision, because they were like, we could sell to an audience here if we take the time to actually make this a quality port. And my understanding, and from the breakdown I watched from Digital Foundry, Digital Foundry, they did a very good job with it. There are concessions, there are loading screens that have been added in, but by and large, it is the full experience that you get on other systems. So good on them for taking the time. I applaud that.
Yeah, because early on there were comparisons, or like there was talk about it, and it was pretty atrocious, right?
We hadn't seen any. We didn't see a single screen for the game until maybe 6 months ago.
Oh, then maybe
On a
I'm
Switch.
wrong.
No, there are people like, it's the way the internet always works. This will never run on Switch. My calculator could run. All that stupid stuff. Yes, everybody was basing all this speculation on literally nothing, because we hadn't seen any screens, no footage, nothing. We saw nothing at all. But then maybe 2.5 months, 3 months before the game came out on Switch, we got our first batch of screens. We were like, and then the trailer came out
I mean, it's never
for
going to
Switch,
be.
and we were like, that doesn't look too bad.
It's never going to have the same polish.
Yeah.
But
Yes, when you are doing as a normal person should, keeping expectations in check, you look at it and you're like, that's not bad for what they can do on the Switch. So that's what they did. And like I said, I think they made the right move. Palworld, Michael's other favorite game. Palworld continues to truck on PC, wooing millions of gamers. And many continue to ask, will Pokemon Company or Nintendo step in to legally battle this game? Well, Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa was asked about Palworld, and here's what he said, quote, "We will take appropriate action against those that infringe our intellectual property rights," end quote. He didn't say Palworld did it. He's just using a blanket statement of, hey, if somebody's stealing our stuff, we're going to defend it and we're going to go after them. So read between the lines. They're looking into it. If there's a argument to be made and a legal battle to be had, then they will do that. But they're not going to be like, yep, we're going after it. We're going to fight them for every penny. Because why would you? That's not how companies operate. So they're looking, they're investigating, they're keeping a watchful eye.
The
We'll
big
see what
fish
happens.
eat the little ones. The big fish eat the little ones.
Cowboy is a big Radiohead fan. He did sing that during the. He sang the entirety of that album actually the whole time. Rami Ram says this is a non-comment. It wasn't even included in the final transcript for the quality or for the question and answer session due to how non-substantive it is. It is a non-statement. It's Nintendo. Nintendo's perfected of the we have no comment. That's what they do. So yeah, not surprising. But there you go. Statement was made. What is this one? So many stories that I don't remember off first glance at the thumbnail. Nintendo's president talked about the challenge of transitioning to new hardware because it ain't easy, and how they're going to try and woo consumers. He says, quote, "We approach our business every day with a profound sense of urgency. The generational transition of platforms in the dedicated gaming console business is never easy. We have experienced significant challenges following successful platforms multiple times, so we never consider our current situation to be totally secure. Furthermore, our business is always exposed to great competition from a broader entertainment perspective. Not only video games, but various forms of leisure are competitors in the industry. In this environment, there's an increasing need, more than ever before, to continue offering unique propositions to become a brand that consumers choose." Good on Furukawa for being very blunt. He's like, hey, we've had hit systems, and they were followed by flops. So we don't take the stance of whatever we put out is going to be great. And he's like, we've failed multiple times in that situation where we followed a successful system with a system that didn't meet those same sales or flopped completely. So good on him for not sugarcoating anything. He's like, we're taking it seriously. We're doing what we can, and we know we got to offer something unique. So that's what they're doing.
So the next system will be Virtual Boy 2.0.
That's right. Well, Nintendo loves to show people why they were wrong to skip out on something in the first place. So they did it with Switch. Maybe one day they'll do it with Virtual
Hey, did
Boy.
you hear that? Like in Las Vegas this weekend, you can get married.
I've heard
You
it.
can get married by
Cheetos?
Chester Cheetah.
I did see that.
But there
yeah.
was like, I don't know where I don't think I saw it. It may have been an ad in TikTok or something, but like there was a little asterisk on the bottom that was like, it's not legal. It's not a legally binding marriage. Like you're only doing it just for
Do you
like
get Cheetos?
I don't know.
That's good enough for me. If you get some
Yeah.
Cheetos, you know what? I'm gonna be
Right.
divisive here. If I'm getting Cheetos, I'll do it, but I want them to be puffs, not the crunchy ones.
Okay. All right. It's okay.
I mean, listen, it's your
I don't
it's your
dislike
wedding.
crunchy, but
You know,
if I see crunchy, I'm like,
Well, if you had your choice, I think that's fine to have a
Yes.
preference. There's nothing
I
wrong
like
with that.
the puffs. I like the puffs. You know what I really like? The ones that used to look like Chester's paw.
oh yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah,
when you were
those were
saying
fun.
puffs, that's what I was thinking.
I was thinking like the
What happened to
curls.
those?
Oh, jeez.
They don't.
I want to say they might still be around, but only in weird. It's like cinnamon, sugar,
No,
spicy.
they there was a big expose where they found out that they were actually using real cheetah paws.
Man,
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I believe it too.
They tasted
There's
different.
there's a lot of polished cheetahs out there.
Great question, Radical Defect. I'm gonna
A
go.
lot.
I'm gonna ask her right now because I think she is Team Crunchy. Radical Defect says, "Is Mom Brain Team Crunchy, Rami? Opposites attract. Opposites do attract. So we'll do it live. I'm gonna message her right now because I almost guarantee it's Crunchy.
Yeah, I don't know. Me
Mom Brain
personally,
podcast question: are you a Crunchy Cheeto or a Puff Cheeto person? Sorry, do.
I think. I mean, I like both. I would eat both, but
Yeah.
I think if I had to choose, I'd probably go crunchy myself. I think I like a crunchy.
If there's like a time limit, like if I need to just get these down, I'm gonna go crunchy because like
On
they
your
could,
marks.
they could
Get
fall
set.
right into the mouth.
A
you know?
time limit.
But
Here's your food, sir.
if
You
I'm
have
gonna-
5 minutes to eat it.
But if I'm gonna sit and actually savor it, I'm gonna go with the puffs.
I
because
love the
you put
feeling
the
of
puff
the
in there,
Yeah.
and they just dissolve in your
Yeah,
mouth.
that's what I like.
nice.
The
That
only
is
bad part
nice.
about a puff is they can get gunked up in your teeth after well, how I used
if
to
you-
eat them.
if
My
you
mouth
let
could
it-
barely close because it was all caked on Cheeto dust.
If you let it dissolve in your mouth, you're gonna have like a layer,
Oh yeah.
both on the tongue and the roof of your mouth.
Mhm.
Then the roof of your mouth
That-
gets all
oh,
like
yeah.
cut up and
It's
stuff
the
like
old,
that. It's-
Captain Crunch syndrome.
yeah,
That's a form of torture in some
and then you get the
countries.
cheese up in the cuts,
Oh yeah.
but then you're saving it for later. Every little you get a little more
every,
cheese.
Yeah,
in there.
every cut is flavored. Wow, they said go around the table, puffy or crunchy. Well, we just did that right now. There you go. Mom Brain played my message and hasn't answered it yet. We're in the same house right now. Currybo says, I'd argue Nintendo have always done a great job transitioning to the next handheld system. And a large part of that has been down to backwards compatibility, in my opinion. I hope Nintendo looks at what worked in the past and what didn't when thinking how to position the next system. That or Mario Kart 9, whatever's easier. That's what they say. Mario Kart 9, if that was at the launch in a new system, I mean, what? It's literally the Switch's best-selling game. Yeah, why
It's got to
wouldn't you?
offer something new though, right? Like some people are only gonna just keep playing 8 Deluxe.
Nah.
Are they really gonna upgrade?
Yeah.
Everybody though?
Yeah. Everybody, no. Everybody, maybe. Maybe.
That you
Look,
posted,
it's gonna. We're 7 years in. We still don't. We haven't hit the limit for it yet. But not every Switch owner owns it.
yeah, but
Not even half.
It's still selling, and some of those people are going to be like, I don't need 9. I've got 8 Deluxe. 8 Deluxe is kind of like 9.
Mom Brain's answer.
You don't know which one I am?
Oh boy.
I mean, I thought you knew me better. It's definitely crunchy, like not even close. Do hit that sound that soundboard button. Not even close. It's always crunchy, never puffy.
There you go. For the
Not
record,
even close.
there we go.
Oh,
I
that's what she
did.
meant.
I did say crunchy. Mom Brain, I did say crunchy. I just wanted to double check. I didn't want to speak for you. Yep, crunchy. If Mom Brain likes a fight, and no matter what it is, food, TV, life, she just loves a skirmish. She loves a scuffle. She wants food that fights back when she's eating it. That's why she loves like kimchi and kombucha and like things where you're like, I don't know if my body should have this, but she loves it.
My body is ready.
I was
what are
going
we
to say
gonna do?
real quick. You posted a video of like the top selling games over the lifespan of
By
the Switch.
Pierre 485. Yes.
And I'm looking at all your Nintendo Labo stuff that like popped up for like a brief moment and was just like, I'm out of
in
here.
and out. Yes.
Look at me. Ugh!
Not a top 20 seller. Yeah.
What, the Labo?
Yeah. It sold millions, but it's not in the top 20 best selling Switch games.
Wonder why.
Too expensive. It was cardboard, and people had an issue with that. And the people
Did
didn't want
sweaty
to build
palms
things.
have a problem? If you have sweaty palms on the cardboard, is that an issue?
I mean, it's not just straight up cardboard. Like it's got like
Yeah.
like
It's a
something on it,
something.
coating. of some-
Oleophobic coating.
I thought that might also be the case, that you didn't want to speak for me. And while I'm glad you speak my name, I'm glad that you do not speak for me.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
That's what I thought. That's why I did what I did. Oh no, I swiped the wrong window closed. Nintendo has said this before. But they talk about Nintendo's president talked about how important it is to have unique experiences in order to move their hardware. How important it is for Nintendo to have dedicated hardware for their software. This is something Nintendo has said for decades because people are always like, well, the people. Gotta keep my temper. The people who are very unfamiliar with Nintendo's business and only see it from the outside often say, why doesn't Nintendo go third party? Because they clearly don't have any idea how Nintendo operates or how successful Nintendo is. But the main reason is Nintendo has said countless times their integration of developing hardware along with their own software is key to their business and to their success. That is crucial. Number one to them, their dedicated software hardware business is why they do what they do. So they once again reiterated how important that is to them. And they also talked about the importance of Nintendo accounts going forward, which is something we've heard before. Nintendo accounts are going to be a thing going forward to ease the transition between platforms and to hopefully, in Nintendo's eyes, woo a few people over as well, because people will be like, oh, all the things I did on my Nintendo account with Switch will transfer over to Switch too. So that makes the situation a little bit easier. So we'll get more details on that whenever Nintendo feels like sharing them.
I don't believe.
You know, I'm not going to get into the details of this, but I do want to mention it just because I think you should. I think you should spend a little time reading it, honestly, because I found it to be interesting in a sad way. But it's important information to know. Hi, Steister. Good to see you. The Anti-Defamation League put out the results of a study that they conducted about online harassment in video games in particular. And they showed how online harassment gets people to stop playing games and stop spending in games and move away from games altogether. Because, you know, if people online are telling you you suck and you're horrible for who you are and how you play and things you can't change, then yeah, you're probably going to be like, I don't want to spend any more time or money in that space. So they have a whole breakdown between age ranges and the kinds of harassment they received and what tipping points were and all that. I highly recommend you go check out that full report, because again, important to know, because then you can help fight the good fight rather than be one of the shovel heads out there causing the trouble. Nintendo talked about how the Super Mario Brothers movie obviously made them a lot of money, but also expanded their reach in other areas as well. They say that the movie helped boost sales of Mario games across the board. It helped, they believe, Super Mario Brothers Wonder achieve its fastest selling Mario game ever status, and it's 12 million in sales. They said that the Mario movie helped them reach more people on mobile devices through things like Mario Kart on mobile and Super Mario Brothers Run. So the movie helped them out in numerous ways, and that has always been Nintendo's goal. They wanted to expand into those areas in order to reach more consumers through their traditional business, and that is what exactly we saw happening. So it's working.
I got these.
What is this? Very quickly. Again, Nintendo's not talking about their new hardware. Investors tried to get them to talk about it during the Q&A session, but they're not gonna. But Mr. Furukawa did say, hey, making these systems takes a long time and it takes a lot of planning. So, you know, hang in there, basically. He's not saying, like, don't expect it for years to come. He's just being like, these things take time, people. We'll tell you stuff when we're ready, but we're not ready yet. So there you go. You can go read his long-winded, I don't want to say long-winded, his long response that basically boils down to what I just told you, if you would like. All right.
He's acting like a babe in the woods, like he doesn't know what they got cooking. He knows. They just don't want to tell us.
He knows, yeah. They're not. No, maybe he wants to tell us, but he can't.
Well, of course he wants to tell us.
Yeah. North America, here's...
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's that bad.
Maybe that's it. He's like, oh, boy, I don't want to talk about this thing.
Or maybe he likes the power. Holding on the
well, it's called the 360. I got that for you, but other than that, I there's music on there for me now, I believe, for my not sweet releases, my North American releases. I don't know what it's called. I don't know where it is. That's it. Here's what North America will get or has gotten: Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered, starring Lara Croft. That's coming out Valentine's Day, February 14th. Test expected behavior. Alpaca wonders why. Thanks for adding in the train as well. Arcade Archive Silkworm. RZ, the Jewel of Faramore. That is the game that is inspired by the CDI Zelda games, except now they're trying to make it an actual good game. That's physical and digital.
And you probably love that, don't you?
I honestly don't think I could love it more. To see a game that's been such an abject failure and be like, we're going to show that kind of game could be good. I'm on board, baby. I'm on board.
Better be good.
It's new, though. It's all new stuff.
100% new. Not in any way tied to Zelda other than the inspiration.
And smooching time, but that was the show.
We'll
Not.
find out. That was the show. Athanasi Placebo Bundle.
I'm sorry. Watch your mouth.
Borzoi Adventure. Bullion.
boys.
Bullion, The Curse of the Cutthroat Cattle. Bus Driving Simulator. Cannibal Abduction. Crocs World 4. That is not the alligator you think it is. Deathly Dangerous.
Is it the shoes?
Double Action Bundle. Shing and Corridor Z. Oh, here you go. Dreamland Solitaire.
All right.
Dungeonoid 2 Awakening. Football Simulator 2024, or if you're not a sports person, Forklift Simulator 2024. Frozen Honey ASMR.
After you broke your foot and couldn't play football
That's right.
anymore, you got behind the wheel of a forklift.
Geo Jelly Space Odyssey Bundle. God of Light Remastered. Golf Guys Fantasy Edition. Golfinite. Yes.
Go fin it.
Helix Jump Catch the Letters. Hero of Fate. Horse Racing. Hunter Codename T. I don't think I'm supposed to say the X there, so I won't. Invector Rhythm Galaxy. Jelly Shot. Jigsaw Dinosaurs. Jigsaw Fantastic Pets. Jubilee.
I bet you one of those fantastic pets is a dinosaur.
Here's a title that just rolls off the tongue. Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world. Love for these clothes of desire. Labyrinth of Legends, Roguelike Battle Quest. Lords of Exile. Check that out if you're a retro Castlevania fan. Ooh. Love Language Stories. Magic City Detective, Wings of Revenge, Collector's Edition. Make Operating System. New operating system. Maze of Realities, Flower of Discord, Collector's Edition. Meta Meet Cute Plus. Mob Control, Champions Edition. Mustache in Hell. Mystery Box, Hidden Secrets. Nature Escapes 2, Collector's Edition. Neat Girl Rehabilitation Plus. Plan, sorry. Pirates Caribbean Chronicles. Pixel Game Maker Series Hunter of Devil. Point and Click Lovers, the Dalek Adventure Bundle. Police Car Driver, City Parking Simulator. Prisonella DX. Raft Survival Simulator.
Oh my god.
Shanghai Summer. Tenement. The Lord of Darkness, The Awakening of the Light. The Nam. Throne of Egypt. Town Adventures, and finally, West Hunt.
For all you simulator fans out there, I hope you've been saving up your dollars.
Name of
because
Austin, anytime you're ready.
Golly gee.
Anytime you're ready, Name of Austin Forklift Simulator 2024 is ready for your review. Talk to that man this week. Nicky, are there any sweet releases?
Yes, it looks like there are. Just came across my desk.
Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
I hope you've been saving your money over. I hope you've been saving your euros
There you go.
because Euro gonna have some games coming out this week.
That's why he's the best.
The week of February 8th, the year of our Lord 2024.
He is amped. He is pumped.
Amazing.
Oh, and first on the list,
Yep.
Kona-
That was a
Konosuba, God's blessing of this wonderful world, love for these clothes of desire.
That is a series. That is also a physical release along with digital.
Blessing on this wonderful world. My apologies.
My
Forgivens. 3 minutes mystery. Alyssa developer's cut. Alpaca wonders why. Big adventure trip to Europe 5 collector's edition. Bloopy and Droopy.
I like that name.
I want to know more about Bloopy and Droopy. Cannibal abduction. Clem. Dr. Frank's build a boyfriend. By the way, did you see this Lisa Frankenstein trailer movie?
Zelda Williams' directorial debut.
Yeah, but
I haven't seen the trailer.
Yeah.
I wrote about that girl this week, though, because she talked about Nintendo, the
What did
lead actress.
What do you think about her playing Samus? Would you think she can handle it?
I need to see her in anything. I don't know her from anything. Oh, Ant-Man?
Yeah.
No.
In a suit, even.
Then no.
Okay. You're
No, thank you.
still Team Bree for that, for Samus?
Yeah, because I think Brie can do stoic really well. I wish she didn't talk as much because when she talks, I'm like,
Yeah, but they're gonna make a movie. If they were to make a movie, she's gonna talk. Like it's not gonna be.
Oh,
the
I
same
know,
character.
I know. We're gonna get to that point. Yeah, I'm not against it. It's not like
Just
I'm
like Link is gonna
Samus
talk,
can't talk,
right?
But
Remember me?
it's not like important. But I will need if they do a Metroid movie, I will need there to be moments where it's just the environment and the noise of the environment and nobody talking. So, but that's a bridge to cross once we get there.
Talk to.
I'll tell Brie about it. I'll let her.
What's her name? Oh my gosh.
Samus Samson.
No, the
Brie
director.
Larson.
The director of
Sarandon.
Barbie.
Greta Gerwig.
Gerwig. Talk to her. She can make it, right?
I got a lot of celebrities to talk to now.
Yeah. Get going.
Wow, I am impressed.
Dream Cutter. Dungeonoid 2 Awakening. Farm Day Simulator. Year of Our Lord 2024. First time in Hawaii Collector's Edition. First time.
I wouldn't have a problem.
Galactic Wars. Defend your Star Worlds. God of Light Remastered. Hunter Codename T. Invector Rhythm Galaxy. Jelly Shot. Just Find It Collector's Edition.
Sure, why not?
Maze of Realities Flower of Discord Collector's Edition. Masm Pechka.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly how I would have said it.
Meta Meet Cute Plus. Morto Chapter 2. Do You Better Run. Mustache in Hell.
Oh.
Nature Escapes 3 Collector's Edition. Neat Girl Rehabilitation Plan. Pirates Caribbean Chronicles or Caribbean Chronicles. I've never really been clear on how to say that
I go Caribbean. Caribbean
because of the Queen.
doesn't feel.
Yeah, because of the Queen.
Caribbean Queen.
No,
Yeah,
that's
that doesn't
wrong.
work.
Now we're saying the same name. Police car driver. City parking simulator. Postal. Brain damaged. Yes, that postal.
You're right.
Raft survival simulator. Slime Boo.
Call your girlfriend.
I-
Or slime boo.
It's, Valentine's Day coming up.
Yep.
Perfect game for your Slime Boo.
My body is
Um,
Slime Michael.
Snow Moto Racing Adventure. Special Forces Assault Tactical Hostage Rainbow. What? Never expected Rainbow at the end of that one.
That's true.
The Lord of Darkness. The Lord of Darkness, The Awakening of Light.
How about the Edge Lord of Darkness? Then I'd play it.
The Pigeon Simulator. Torn Away. Town Adventures. And last but not least, West Hunt. And there's no comment.
That's I don't want to lay blame here or anything, but let's just say the North American and European releases this week were not marked top stories as they should have been. I have killed the person who was in charge. Moving on. Thank you, Nicky Hill. Legend of Zelda movie news. You want some? Nintendo's not willing to tell you because, again, investors show how I shouldn't say it. Investors show how little they know about the company they're talking to because they think during a Q&A they can be like, hey, tell us about that Zelda movie. And Nintendo's going to be like, all right.
Who's ever going to talk about any project that they're working on, like openly like that?
Anybody can be an investor. So here's what Shuntaro Furukawa says about the Zelda movie. We announced in November last year that we started development of a live-action film on The Legend of Zelda. Shigeru Miyamoto, executive fellow and representative director of Nintendo, and Avi Arad, chairman of Arad Productions, who has produced many mega hit films, will be co-producing this film. Currently, we cannot discuss the release date or content of the movie, so please wait for the future updates. The person asked them, hey, is this movie going to be brand new or is it going to be an adaptation of one of the games? And expected an answer. So I don't know why they would expect that, but
what
there you
rules, you sons of bitches?
Sticer says, just popping in to say incredible image on this post, RMC. Wow, thank you. I enjoyed it.
It's
Yeah.
It's going to be an adaptation of Majora's Mask, and you're going to be in the theater for 3+ days.
You watch the same movie over and over again.
And
15
just
minutes
before
at a
it
time.
finishes, you restarts. You have to go back to the beginning.
We're We're talking rumors, people. Rumor of a Nintendo Direct. Rumor of the Switch successor. What's going on? We got inside sources who say they got the scoop. Should you trust them? That's up to you to decide.
Yes.
Me?
So I saw this, didn't read what you wrote, but Chibi Robo,
Sounds about right.
that's only there because that was a teaser at some point and it miffed some people.
So you read the caption I put under the image?
Yes.
Okay.
Just a moment.
A long time ago, Nintendo put that image, not just the Chibi Robo part, put that image on Nintendo or on their Twitter account, and it caused a whole bunch of speculation because people are talking about Nintendo Direct and when's the next one, and they just posted that image, no text, no explanation.
That was
and people were
probably
like,
Reggie.
It's happening, and nothing came of it.
It was probably
So now that image has become synonymous with Nintendo Direct rumors. Here we go. So that's why I did what I did.
okay. But yeah, it's probably Reggie.
But that's why I put the caption under there.
Got the login for their Twitter back in the day.
That's why I put the caption under there for people who might not know about that, because they're going to see that and be like, why Chibi Robo? So that's why I put it. So rumors of a Nintendo
so there's
Direct.
a Chibi Robo game coming to the new Switch.
Worst,
the 3 Switch D.
a worst kept secret in the world. We all know a Nintendo Direct's coming, but now rumor is it may not be a full fat Nintendo Direct. It might be a partner Direct, because Nintendo wants to showcase what third parties have coming to the Switch, because Nintendo's calendar for the Switch is a bit slim because we're getting late in the system's life. So I don't know. If it's a partner Direct, everybody's going to be very angry. But truth be told, people are angry no matter what Nintendo does. So I honestly, personally, do not care. We will cover whatever it is. So expectations in check. But again, this is just a rumor. Continuing on with the rumor, supposedly March will be the time when we will see the unveiling in some way, shape, or form of the Switch's successor. This comes from two sources, Nate Drake and Necro Phillip, who have been correct about leaked information in the past. They have been proven to be sources who, at times, can get information that is spot on. I do not mean that means they are correct this time, but their track record does have examples of them being correct and not just them saying, Nintendo's going to make a Mario game. See, there it is. They were more specific than that. So take that as you will. Rumors.
Who's the person that who commented on something last year and people like gave him such a hard time because
Mr. Grubb.
Is that what was it that he made a comment about something that we all knew was coming out? It was already announced, and he made a comment about it, and people were like, we already knew that. And he was like, yeah, but not everybody, like, I don't remember the whole thing.
What the heck?
But boy, the drama.
Kamehameha X says March would be perfect for an announcement if they plan to release during fall this year. You know what, Kamehameha? I agree with you. Yes, I agree 100%. And then we already talked about this, so we don't really need to do this.
Goodbye, everybody.
That's that. Yeah, we're gonna call it there. Nicky Hill, what have you been playing? Oh, I keep forgetting to say this. Let me say it. I'm sorry. I adjusted the ads on YouTube in a completely different way. The best I can get it is you should only be seeing one ad break every half hour. That's the best I can possibly get it. So if you're seeing more than one ad break every 30 minutes on YouTube, that's the best I can do. I'm sorry. That's all the options I have. But I tried starting with last week. So there you go. Nicky Hill, I apologize.
No, it ties in perfectly. I've been trying to play games, but all I do is keep getting ads on GoNintendo's YouTube. No,
so many
problem
stories
could
to
be
tell.
you're trying to play games on GoNintendo.com.
Did you know you could play Tetris?
Played some not Zelda. What the heck am I talking about?
Some solitaire.
Played some solitaire and
Prince
Prince of Persia. And I'll tell you, I came across a boss fight in Prince of Persia. I think I just might be done with the game. I'm going to call it there.
I've heard this before.
From who? Me? Nah.
Yes, you. Every game you play ever.
No, this is a tough one.
I stand by what I said.
I could dumb down the difficulty. Not dumb it down. That's a rude way of saying it. I could.
Can you dumb it down a shade?
Yeah, I mean, I could knock it down. I think to like easy or something, just to get through that. But I don't want to. I only went up against this person once, and I'll try it again. But golly, was that a challenge?
The Prince of Persia versus the King of Prussia.
Sure.
You guys knew
Spoilers.
boss names or character names, and I didn't know anything, so I was trying to pretend like I knew something.
Well,
Yeah, what the heck is with that one character?
Frank.
I could say it. It's not like important. The girl Fariba.
My Fariba.
She gets
My
around,
Fariba.
man. How does she get around that entire map?
She never tells you.
You
She's
know?
very coy
She's
about it.
She's
Hi,
just
Brian
like,
Cheese.
you are fighting tooth and nail to get in some of these places. It's been 30 hours and I finally get there. And she's like,
Hi,
oh,
TKO.
hi.
She's just sitting there.
How you
amongst
doing?
A bunch of dead bodies in some dungeon and some
like
hard to
Batman.
reach.
Batman does
Part of
that
that
stuff all
castle.
the time.
There was only one time. Like there was one time the song she was humming was like the music in that section.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, that's freaking awesome that it like ties in. And then like I saw her in a different area and I think she's singing the same song. It's not always the same song.
It's a
I was
catchy
like, oh,
tune.
darn it. I thought it was a cool thing and it just was a brief cool thing. But yeah, that's
I
it.
don't know.
it.
She's the only one that doesn't rake you over the coals. $50 for a map is pretty reasonable.
Her rates never go up.
Never.
That's impressive.
She could have made a lot of money off of me.
Yeah. But she's fair. And for that I appreciate. For that I thank her. But yeah, that's it. That's all I've been
Okay.
That's all I've been playing.
Dude, what have you been playing?
Dude's been playing.
I thought we almost went into Deux views for a second.
So it sounds like
Dude's been playing. So Dew played the Mario DK demo.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Less than 10 minutes, I would imagine. It's not long.
Yeah, it's not long, which I liked, which I appreciated. With peace and love, I hope that people get this game and really enjoy it. It's not for me. Music was great, presentation's great. I don't know. Wasn't my thing, but
Not a puzzle platformer fan?
whatever that was, I guess. Not for me. I mean,
Was it too easy?
no.
Oh.
No, it wasn't that. I just
Was it too hard?
Was it too hard?
No, it wasn't hard. I didn't find it hard. But I mean, I know it's just the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
Not enough Captain Toad.
I don't know. It didn't do it for me. Didn't pull me in. So I don't know what to say. I hope, like I said, I hope people like
That's what demos are for.
Yeah, I'm glad that I tried it out, and there were things that I liked about it. I mean, the music was so
Oh
cool.
my god, that saxophone.
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh, love it.
But and it's the presentation's great. Just peace and love. I played some Animal Crossing New Horizons. Nothing new there. Played some Fortnite with the boys. Nothing new
Fortnite.
there.
Ninja Turtle stuff in there tonight, baby.
Oh, really?
I saw, yeah.
Yeah. So you know how they usually have the anime stuff? It drops in a care package. Now they have turtle stuff, so you can get Donatello's bow or Raphael's size,
Ooh.
and they give you like a double jump and a special attack and something. I'm
Cool.
very excited for that.
All right. Well, that should be
How are you
fun.
going to fight somebody just by going,
I don't know. God, I love being a turtle.
shell shot?
Get that clip fast enough.
Yeah, that was great. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. I have beaten the game, and it was wonderful. It's the first 5 out of 5 game for me for the year. It's excellent. I had very little criticisms. Most of the criticisms I have are with just the slowdown that I experienced late in the game. I started to experience quite a bit of slowdown and like frame rate drops and things like that. But
An update literally just came out yesterday, I think. That I believe the patch notes said it just addressed some of the frame rate issues.
oh, that's cool. I also saw that I forgot to mention there was another thing where you walk into this big room. It's toward the beginning of the game, and there's like a big cut scene that they give you, and then like 20 hours later, I happened to be in that area, and I went into that big room, and they made me watch the cutscene again. And I thought it was like a a cutscene like back in time. You know, like I thought there was a point to it.
Oh no, you just
And
you
I
just triggered an old cutscene.
Yeah, and it's
Oh.
just, and then I was like, oh no, did this screw the whole game up? And then after the cutscene, everything was back to normal.
Weird.
But I saw that was fixed in the notes.
Oh,
so
I've experienced some silly things in that game. Like I think I said it last week. I saved at a whack tree, got hit by one person and died. Game over. I had like full
yeah,
health
you
and everything else.
that, which is
I was
so
like,
strange.
what?
Burn and Cheese says there was one side quest completed bugged for me. Couldn't do it at all. It'd make my character stop moving. Nothing on the controller would work. Well, hopefully that's been patched as well.
Yeah, the Moon Gatherer guy.
Yeah.
The final moon piece, I didn't even find him. I just like he's somewhere in an adjacent room, but I like walked into an area and it just triggered the conversation. And I was like, I guess I accomplished that, but I don't know what I accomplished.
I think I saw that in the patch notes too, something about the Moon Gatherer. So maybe they fixed that.
That they just give it to you wherever you are.
They did a couple patches like back. Hi, Anastasia Beaverhausen. Yeah, I know. I reported on the.
Well, I can't say. All I can say is if you like Metroidvanias at all, this is a must-play game. It's excellent.
Did you have a familiar with you at some point?
No, I didn't.
I've seen some videos where people.
Me too.
And I don't know how. I guess that like.
I think it's a New Game Plus thing personally, but I'm not sure.
A new what's that?
I think it's a New Game Plus thing, but I'm not sure.
What does that mean? Like you finish the game and restart? Oh,
yeah, like it gives you. New Game Plus.
And they're doing like because that's where they're doing like
walkthroughs
and stuff.
You'll see in the final cutscene what, like something that looks like that thing. So, but yeah, I loved it.
Okay.
I thought it was great. And I liked the story too. Like I thought the story was great.
Unofficial reports put it at roughly 300,000 units sold. So not
it
good.
Oh, it wasn't good.
I said I can't imagine what Ubisoft's expectations were, and I remember saying you pie in the sky for that game would be like 1 million units sold. So,
man,
I really would think that's within expectations for them.
It really
if that number is true.
That's a bummer because it's great. It's great, but you know, at least we got Assassin's Creed Mirage or something, or who knows what else they got.
Gun to my head, I could not tell you. I do not know.
But so yeah, Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, highly recommend it, and it's huge. It took me. There were a few things I could have still done, but I was kind of, you know, I was ready to move on. But like 30 minutes, I was 30 hours in, I think, and I had maybe 85%. It said done or something like that. So I mean, I could have stuck it out for some more things, but I was ready to see the end. And man, what a big game! It just kept going and going and going and going.
That's very sizable for Metroidvania.
So after you finish it, the only option is to start a new game. You can't go back to your.
No, you can. You can.
That's what New Game Plus is.
You can start. You can load your old game again.
Oh, okay. Oh, but it'll be loading it before the final.
It'll load it before the final boss. But yeah, it was excellent. It was big. It was well crafted. It was fun, and there's so many great items, and they're not just useful for like a little bit. Like they all are useful throughout, and I thought that was really commendable too, because a lot of times, you know, games don't work like that. A lot of times you get an item that works for 15 minutes and then they forget all about the mechanic. But yeah, so play that one. That one was great. I was snooping around the old eShop at the deals.
Yes, deals until the 17th, 16th. Big deals.
And I don't know why, but Onimusha Warlords was looking at me for $7.99, and
I saw you playing that.
I used some gold points and I bought it for like $1.50.
You know why? You got a sweet spot for
that
era.
Love that crap. I devoured it. I crushed that game and beat it this week. I've beaten it before on the PS2. I want to say, RMC, that you lent me your copy back in the day. I want to say because no one else I knew would have had that game or even known about it. And you were like, you love Resident Evil so much that you would love this. And I remember borrowing it, I think, from you and playing it and being like, it's not like Resident Evil at all. They're demons, not zombies, but I
completely different. Yeah. I'm going to go downstairs and see if I still have that game. I just,
nice. Yeah. So, I can't explain it. I just love those pre-rendered backgrounds and that the tank controls and the music was just unbelievable. There's so many songs in that game that sound like they were cut from Resident Evil 2. I swear it's got to be the same composer or something. Maybe not, but I had so much fun playing it. It was originally on the PlayStation 2, but I guess in 2019 they did like a pretty junky HD remake, which is what I got on the Switch.
Because I saw it, and I went to the eShop to like look at it. I was like, I didn't really read the breakdown or like what it was from, and I was like, man, of all things, like Deux is gonna play this, and it looks like this, and I was just like, is this what games are being made to look like now? Like, is this Earth? It was shocking to see, like,
yeah,
especially the frames were like very tight frames. There wasn't like a whole lot, though maybe those are from cinematics or something, but I was just like, how could you play that?
Yeah, it's because of my love for you didn't see it?
Must have been when I traded in back in the day.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, you can get it very easily now if you wanted to. But yeah, I mean, there's something with they didn't go all out with the upgrade for it, which is kind of a bummer. So there's like almost no quality of life changes to it. They do allow you to use the joystick if you don't want to use tank controls, which I appreciate, but that beyond that, that's really it. I mean, you can't skip any cutscenes, which is so infuriating. So first of all, if you die, you gotta load from. You can't just load from like where you were. You have to load from where you last saved,
and then you can't.
And then you have to get all the way back to what like the boss that you died at, and then you have to watch the cutscene.
I can't believe you're talking about this game right now because it could not be more perfect for something I played this week.
Oh, really?
It's perfect.
Well, that's interesting. Well, yeah. I still have one more game to talk about after this, so I'm trying to wrap it up.
No.
Can you talk about this one last then? So it's segues?
No.
I should have. I wasn't thinking. But yeah, I was saying RMC. The music in this game is so good, like Resident Evil 2 sounding. Like I almost feel like they were cut from Resident Evil 2. It's Capcom, so maybe Capcom, they were, and like, but.
I'll have to go listen to the soundtrack on YouTube because I literally don't remember any of it.
I didn't remember any of it. It's really great.
I remember parts of the game. Like I remember really liking the game.
It's still
certainly
kind of holds
like
up.
Like you were saying,
that.
Pre-rendered scenes. There's certain scenes I can still see in my head. Just I don't know why specific areas stuck out and stuck with me.
And there's a couple of FMV cutscenes that are awesome, like that are actually like real awesome, like very cool, like 1999 cool, but like very cool. So I had a lot of fun, way more fun than I was expecting to have going back into that game. It's a lot shorter than I remember the game being. It only took me about 4 hours to beat it, but man, I just had so much fun. It's because of the style of games. Like I could go back and play those games, like the old school tank control Resident Evil games. That there's something about that just does it for me. It's such an old man thing now. Like it's not a style of game they could release now easily and have it be very successful.
That's why I love developers today, because they look at games back then that did things because of limitations on the hardware, or we were still fumbling our way through controls to figure things out, and they don't look at them as relics. They look at them as design choices and artistic expressions, and they're like, that's a style, we could use that can be done in a new game. And I love that. That's why I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
just because time marched on doesn't mean there's not validity in those elements and design choices.
Yeah, it's definitely like a blast from the past in a way. but had a lot of fun playing that and beating it this week. And last but not least, I played the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo, of course.
You didn't say anything, and I know you knew about it. And I was like, he's gonna play it, and I wanted to ask, but I was like, I'll wait until the podcast.
To be honest, I forgot all about it. You texted me about it last week or something. I forgot all about it, and then last night I went to download the Fortnite update or something, and I saw it on there, and I was like, oh crap, let me download this. So anyone who knows the show would know that I'm like one of those unabashed Final Fantasy VII fanboys. I absolutely love it, and that's just how it is. So I'm also one of those guys that's like, it's awesome, I want a remake, please give me a remake, and then they give me a remake, and I'm like, this looks like crap, this stinks. And then I play it like expecting to hate it, and then I like kind of liked it, and then I was upset that there was going to be more. Like, oh, you can't give me the whole game in one game. I got to buy a trilogy of games. So then the second one's going to come out, and I was like, totally didn't care about it. Really could have cared less. Wasn't excited at all, even though, again, I liked the first one. And downloaded this demo and was all prepared to hate it and be upset. And it's good. I'm a very sentimental guy, so a lot of it is sentiment, a lot of it is nostalgia, but they put in so much work. Like, they really worked hard. Like, whatever you think of remakes or this game or this franchise, they worked hard on this. Like, it really does a lot to like immerse you in these areas that I only played at like a painting, back on the PlayStation.
Pre-rendered backgrounds. That's what it was.
And those,
one angle to look at.
And those were beautiful. I love that, and I don't want to ever change that from the original. But to be there and actually walk around and feel like this is Final Fantasy VII come to life is great. It doesn't feel like they half-assed it. Like, they really put a lot.
They're 100% not
it.
half-assing it. They're putting a lot of money and time and effort into it. It'll be 10 years past when the whole thing is out, so they're putting a lot of effort into it.
It shows. The little snippet that you got to play is one of the big dramatic moments of the series or of the game. And it's so well done and transitioned to the 3D version. I loved it. I really was into it. I loved almost everything about it. And the music upgraded for it. Like, again, it's a lot of it's nostalgia because I love and know all the songs by heart. But the way they have the arrangements with these orchestral pieces of the music that I've always known all these years, it's enough to bring you to tears, and you're just playing the game like you're just walking around. I, again, absolutely loved it. You get to play as Sephiroth for a big chunk of it, and he's so much fun to play as. It's one of those things where, like, when you're playing the original, you were like, I wish I could play as Sephiroth. It's awesome. It's really great.
Passionate towards him now?
Well, it's cool to see the 3D interpretation of the story because, well, you've played parts of Final Fantasy VII or the original, but the setup where, like, you're basically just reading all the drama and it looks like the way it looks, and hopefully something clicks in your head that puts together that, like, the whole story and drama for you to make it interesting. Like, here you're actually watching like the scenes play out and hearing the voice actors and all that stuff, and I thought it was really well done. Especially,
how are the voice actors?
I thought it was pretty good, especially for that genre where it's like, that kind of anime where it's like, hey, how you doing? We're American voice actors on an anime. Yeah. And it's like, okay, God, like, stop being so plucky. You know what I mean? Like,
huh?
Yeah. But like, I thought it was very well done. And it like you saw a more human side to Sephiroth. It's the same side that you see in the original game, but because you're not reading it, you're seeing it like acted out. I was a little more sympathetic towards him. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to playing the full game. I'm definitely gonna get it.
When does it come out? It's not that
thi-
far off, right?
The end of this month, I think. But yeah, the gameplay was a lot of fun. Again, that music is, I mean, it's enough to.
Well, the music is what I liked so much about the first remake was. I mean, that was the only element where I was like, they really, like, it was mind blowing how they took such an already fantastic soundtrack and just heightened it in every way. It was like very clear that the people involved were true fans of the original and let the original sing through while still doing their own thing with it. It's a beautiful, beautiful soundtrack.
I think they did it again with this, just from what I've heard. But yeah, it's really great. You know, I can see now though. Now I'm starting to see, for some reason, I don't know why I didn't see it before RMC, the thing that you keep telling us about these remakes is that, like, down the line, no one's going to play these originals.
It's
or
over,
even,
man. We're there. It's done.
And
it's over.
It's like really, really sad to see. And part of me was like, you know, as much as I would like an HD 2D remake, like fully fledged of Final Fantasy VII, I don't think I do want that, you know, like, and if they're going to remake it, which they are remaking it, obviously we're talking about it, the way they're doing it, I think is the right way to do it, because it is different enough where you're getting still the same story. You're just getting kind of, I hate to say the cliff notes, because it's like, you know, they have to truncate it in order to make it
cliff notes for the game that is split into 3 over 10 years now.
Which is interesting that it's like 3 games, but it's still it's gonna be like truncated.
It's 3 games. It's 10 years, and it doesn't give you everything the first one did.
Yeah, but the thing
really.
So like
yeah,
they had to change. They have to change it up just because there's so much. Like, imagine playing like word for word that the original game. It's like impossible in like 3D. It's like impossible to even translate. I don't think it would work. So they had to make it different, but. So so part of me was like, well, look, if they did it this way, it's fine. It's still different enough. And I think years down the road, you know, like, we could still appreciate both games. But I was just talking about from my own point of view, because I'm such a fanboy. I can't see anybody younger than us who hasn't played the original playing the original anymore.
There will be people, but yes, they are going to be
they're going to be special people.
It'll be people like me. You know, like, you got to be like an uber game dork to want to go back and play all that stuff. It's not going to happen. People are going to be like, those graphics, that music. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So it's, you know, while I was playing the game, although as much as I was enjoying it, despite my hang-ups, and as much as I was like coming to grips with, well, I'll always be able to play the first because I love it so much, and this does not affect me. There was a part of me that was melancholic for that, just that feeling that I was finally getting, that you had been like, I understood what you were saying, but it didn't hit me like it hit when I was playing that. And I was like, I don't know, there was something kind of like dropped out from under me while thinking about it, in like a real sad way. I know we're just talking about video games, but it's like, it's like a piece of history kind of thing. Yeah. And it's like, and it was like, oh man, like things are going to be different now. Like, things are going to be changed now forever.
Yeah. And for me, like, I never have issue with, I like the original. Like, that's always my thing. My issue is with people will never see why we got to a place of Final Fantasy VII being remade in the first place. They're just going to play this and not understand why so many clamored for a remake for so long, because of that love of the original. Now, all that will exist are these 3. Yes, the original will still be there, but people are not going to go back and play that. So this becomes Final Fantasy VII. That's it. That's just the way.
It's like George Lucas getting into gaming or something, changing it up, and you can't go back.
Well, yeah. Luckily, we can still go back in most cases, if not all. But yeah, I don't know. Despite despite me being a crotchety old man, I enjoyed my time with the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo. I would say if you're a fan at all of Final Fantasy VII, you would probably enjoy it. It was a free demo, so what the heck? Check it out if you got a PS5.
It's free.
It's free. I am not too familiar with this generation of Final Fantasy gameplay, where instead of turn-based, it's like
a whole different
3D
argument.
and you're running around.
It's not an RPG. It's an RPG in the sense that
just an action.
Legend of Zelda is an RPG.
Yeah. So it's it's not. I'm not used to it, but I was having my fun with it, and they've got like familiar enemies, familiar moves, all that kind of stuff.
I don't have the nostalgia for RPGs traditional RPGs because I didn't play them back in the day. I do lament the loss of that because that's what Final Fantasy was, and now it's not at all. It's completely different. But I do applaud Square Enix in putting out traditional RPGs as well. They just don't do it with Final Fantasy. Like they have, Octopath Traveler and things like that. So mixed emotions, and that's coming from someone who, again, doesn't have ties to Final Fantasy from their childhood. Just, I think it's a bit sad to have Final Fantasy not be what it was. I mean, the ties that it has is the magic spell names and some of the characters, but how you play and the gameplay styles and all that, it's very different. It's not wrong. It's just like I said, it makes me a little sad to see because Final Fantasy VII was pretty much the breakthrough traditional RPG here in the States. Like as far as console players go, that did a huge thing, and now Final Fantasy is so far removed from that, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I hate to admit. I mean, you got to start somewhere, but what were we, sophomores in high school? I had never heard of Final Fantasy. I'd never even heard of it. When I heard Final Fantasy VII, I was like, where are the other 6? I seriously never even seen the Nintendo cartridges. I've never even played it. I didn't know what an RPG was. I didn't know when I borrowed that first disc from a friend and it was time-based, clicking the button and like menus. I was like, who would play this? This is real. Like I thought it was the first one ever made. I was like, there's no way they've been making menu-based fighting games like this forever. And but like I said, you got to start somewhere. I mean, now I've played a bunch.
That's a crucially important moment in RPG history outside of Japan, without a doubt. One of the biggest moments ever. And yeah, that makes me sad when I look at Final Fantasy now, and I'm like, all those elements are gone. They're just gone completely. I'm playing Final Fantasy 16. I think it's a fine game. Like it's fun. I don't love it, but it's fun. But even as someone who didn't play Final Fantasy as a kid, I'm like, this feels like, I don't want to say it feels wrong, but it feels sad, I guess. It just feels sad. I'm like, I guess this is what Final Fantasy is now. So, whereas Dragon Quest is like this, Dragon Quest is still doing it like it used to. And Dragon Quest is not popular outside of Japan, really. It's getting slowly but surely better, but so I don't know. I guess Square's like, we're not going to have 2 franchises that aren't successful outside of Japan. So I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the demo.
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And like I said, I'll let you know when I play more of the actual game, what I think. Let me show you something. What I do. RMC, why don't you tell us something what you play?
He's been playing Final Fantasy
No,
16.
not this week.
So we're done. Questions.
I looked up something I wanted to tell you about. I can't because I'm not allowed to because of embargo. And it's really dumb because you've all played it already. But for some reason, I can't talk about it.
Beyond Good and Evil?
Can't talk about it.
I guess so.
The 14th I can talk about
Suika game.
So the 14th of this month?
Yeah.
The heck is coming
You
out?
said
this
there was
month,
something that related to Onimusha.
Oh yeah, I'm saving that till last now because of this conversation.
Exciting.
I
That's not a good
played
segue.
Fortnite.
It's a terrible segue, actually. All this stuff in the middle.
I played Fortnite and had fun with Fortnite as always. I played a little more Another Code, and I'm still in the first game, but I'm just trying to get to the second game, the one that I want to play. I played a very little bit of Golden Sun because I've been so tired this week from covering all this financial stuff. I just didn't have the time. And then when I did there were nights where I had to force myself to stay awake because things were coming up to cover. So I was like, I'll try out some other stuff. So I tried. Can't talk about that. Yeah, this is it. You mentioned it in your European releases, Nicky. You said Alisa, which is how all of us would say it, but that's not how that's how I said it. It's Alisa.
Of course.
That's how they say it in the game. But anyway, it is exactly like classic Resident Evil. Visually, gameplay wise, control wise, exactly the same. Pre-rendered backgrounds, polygonal characters, tank controls. That's exactly what do you mean?
There's
That's
gonna
what it
be
is.
something that
I'm done.
What does it look like? It looks like the
I
first
just said
Alone in the
that.
Dark, doesn't it?
No, I just said it. It looks exactly like the original Resident Evil. Polygonal characters, pre-rendered backgrounds.
But it's a dating simulator.
No, it's a Resident Evil game. You play with tank controls. It's the exact same thing.
You think I'd like it though? You know how I am.
This is amazing.
You know how he
you
do.
just told us how
I
you're
know.
like this, and then you played.
I know. That's why I'm asking you.
So what
You
am I
know me.
supposed to say?
No, you're not gonna like it. If you don't think I'm
You're
gonna
not
like
gonna
it.
like it. No, I don't know what I'm supposed to say because everything you just told me now would lead me to believe 150% yes, you would like it. But I don't know what to say
Yeah, I don't know.
because I'm talking about it now, and you're like, but what does it look like?
The only
Like,
reason I'm being like this is because I saw one night that you were playing it, and I was like, "What is this game that he's playing?" And I looked it up, and the graphics were
yes,
some of the worst
it
I've ever
looks,
seen.
It looks exactly like the original Resident Evil. It's the same thing. Like, this is why I don't know how I'm supposed to talk about it with you because you went on a whole thing about
If
I
it
like
came
this.
out
The
in
original Resident
1999, maybe I would like.
I
probably.
can't do it.
It's
I can't
weird,
Is
do
it
it.
not,
right?
is
It's
it
a
not
weird
possible
thing.
for you to have a nostalgic feeling for a new experience?
I mean, I've tried to play Full Quiet. I liked it, but it was too
What
difficult.
the heck was Full Quiet? Is that the new Stanley Kubrick story?
It was like an 8-bit.
Well,
a
it
new
was too
8-bit
difficult.
game.
It has nothing to do. Like that's a different reason. Like you didn't dislike it because of how it looked or
Yeah.
any of that. So this,
Well, maybe I have to see Elisa
whatchamacallit?
in action because I only saw screenshots.
yeah, you look up a trailer again. I can't stress this enough. It's Resident Evil. It's the exact same thing. Pre-rendered scenes where it's a fixed camera point. You could play with modern controls if you want, but it has tank controls, an inventory system.
Do you like it so far?
Yeah, I like it. It's very much like Resident Evil. Esoteric puzzles. So it's like there's a notch in this thing. What do you put in here? Or like this key, get this key out of this slide puzzle maze. And like it's like all Resident Evil stuff.
Brilliant.
But you're not fighting zombies. I know you had a problem with
yeah.
that from Onimusha to
Mhm.
Resident Evil. You're fighting life-size killer porcelain dolls.
Nah.
So they like shatter when you kill them. And they all drop cogs, and you use cogs to get new weapons or to buy ammo or to upgrade things.
I dropped Cog just before I came here.
So, yeah, it's exactly like Resident Evil. Literally, what you mentioned happened to me while I was playing. I died at a boss, and I had to restart at the save point, and I was like, "Oh man, that sucks." But that's how that stuff used to be.
That's how it is, baby.
So in an alternate universe, this came out in 1997, and we'd be talking
and
about
I
Resident Evil.
I
now.
would have been loved it.
Yeah,
I would have
yeah.
been like, this game was a classic.
Yeah. It's got bad voice acting. It's got everything you like about Resident Evil 1. It's a carbon copy.
Barry?
There's a Barry-esque character.
All right, I'll take a Barry-esque.
There's and it does a good job of capturing that discomfort, that discomforting vibe that you had from the original Resident Evil. Yeah, any complaint I would have about this game, I would also have about the original Resident Evil because they're the same. They are the same. So it's fun to see this. I like that a developer was so inspired to pay so closely attention to a tribute like this. And it's an original story and original characters and all that stuff. Actually, I'm interested in the story. You're like a police officer, and you're on this train. You get off the train. You're investigating this weird town.
Train. It starts off in a train.
And these creatures attack you and drag you underground. And when you wake up, you're in like like a frilly doll's like dress, like a maid costume or something,
Oh.
and you're like, what the hell's going on
No,
here?
thank you.
And you start to see that like all these porcelain dolls are trying to kill you, and you're like, am I in some sort of weird dollhouse? Or I don't know what's going on, but I like it. So it's interesting. It's fun. It just came out on Switch. It's very classic style Resident Evil. But again, if you want modern controls, you can have those.
It's rated 9 out of 10.
If you like classic Resident Evil, I would be shocked that you don't like this. It's exactly the same. There's nothing different. It's very clear they played Resident Evil a bazillion times. I'm sorry, multiple times. And we're like, okay, I want to make a game just like this, but with my own characters and story. So that's what it is. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
This is from Metacritic, I guess. Recreating the feeling to a near perfect T. However, emulating a game from the 90s so closely means it comes with all the problems from games of the time.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. So if you don't have if you don't like that stuff or you don't have a nostalgia for that stuff, then you probably won't like this. But if you are cool with tank controls and
it's funny because like
rotating your character around to shoot things and all that, and then
it's like I would probably just complain because it's like, we're living in an age where we can fix these issues.
Yeah, I'd probably be just as crotchety.
No, but it's supposed to be emulating.
People aren't looking at them as issues; they're looking at them as mechanics that they want to embrace. So yeah, there's a difference there. You can't look at this game and say it's broken because it's doing these things on purpose.
Right.
So,
but there's also a reason I'm never going to play another Resident Evil game outside of Resident Evil 4 on the Wii because those controls worked really well for me. I don't want to deal with all the other stuff.
Well, modern Resident Evil's first person now. It's completely different.
They scare me.
So okay, that's a reason then. So yeah,
there was this one time I was playing with like a VR set and I got so scared I ran into the stove and smashed the front of it.
I think I saw a video about that. So yeah, that's how
get your juice.
I really like that. It's fun. It's just you have to, for someone who did play through those games back in the day, you have to put yourself back in that mindset of like being very careful with your ammo and although you can buy more ammo, but it depends on how many COGs you get. You got to be very careful with your saving. You got to be like, okay, I'm going to do this now. So that way I don't do like 6 things. And if I die, I got to do that all over.
Right.
It's just that kind of stuff.
Remember that game we played together where we saved and didn't have
Obscure?
Yeah. And we didn't have enough ammo. And then we went into a fight and we couldn't play it because we were out of ammo.
Yeah.
I think we know what we got to do, people, for Patreon.
Now Obscure, I know I still have.
You don't get rid of a game
Obscure.
Like that. Obscure.
Something I was going to say. Oh, this game is a little more forgiving when it comes to ammo because enemies drop basically money and you can spend the money, but it also takes $1 to save, which you get a lot of money, so it's fine. But
for
you
$1,
can buy ammo. You know what else you can buy? Melee weapons, which I really appreciate. You can buy a sword pretty early on. So range sucks. It does not break. Range sucks and it takes a lot of hits. It's not as strong as a gun, so enemies got to get close and you got to be on your game. But
yeah, but they're dolls.
I
Who's
like
afraid
that
of
that's
dolls?
there.
Oh,
well, these dolls, they're a little weird.
Like the boy.
They're not like little baby dolls running around. Like some are giant. Like one is like 2 times the size of you. One are like little. There's one part where you get to like a circus section, like a circus tent.
Of course.
And there's little like marionette porcelain dolls that are riding tricycles and they like ram into your knees. It's pretty funny. I'm like, that's a pretty fun enemy.
Did they send you this game or did you get this?
The developer reached out to me. Yeah, I knew about the game and I was definitely going to get it because that's my kind of thing. But they reached out and I was like, I would love to play it. So I will have a review. I'm about 2 hours into it, but I'd say a half hour of that is me dying at a boss and having to backtrack. So it doesn't really count. I don't know how big it's going to be, but yeah, it's all Resident Evil style puzzles. There's been like I said, a key or like a sliding block puzzle. There's been a spell out a word puzzle. There's been this weird shape. There's like you need the hand key and the eye key and all that stuff. So I'm digging it.
Sounds familiar.
It's fun. How much is it? Did you look? Was it $15? Something like that?
I don't know.
But that's all I played. I'd love to talk to you about the other thing, but again, I'm not allowed to. But it's something coming out very soon, and you've played it already, most likely, because it's one of the most popular characters in the video game world.
Holy
dumb that I
cow.
can't talk about this.
There's a God of War coming to the
He
Switch.
got it. He
That's
nailed it.
unbelievable.
Yeah, and that would be great because then maybe it would be like God of War used to be. But that's a different topic. Let's do questions.
Why is it just says demo available? Oh, 15.29. It's on
There you
sale,
go.
people.
Oh,
it's a
till what, the
15%
17th?
off. Sale ends February 21st, year of our
Oh,
Lord,
so it's a launch sale.
2024.
Well, there you go, everybody. Get it for $15. Questions. Send your questions.
15.29.
Send your questions
Plus
to
tax.
goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want.
It could be about what?
PT says, look at those around you. Take in their personality. Mull it over a bit. What soundboard clip would you assign as a ringtone for a fellow podcast crew member? Well, Nicky Hill would be his song, the Sweet Releases
Is that
song.
what I sound like? Or is that, yeah.
That's what I would make.
Oh, maybe that's true. I want to do one that I meant to add to the soundboard and didn't get to.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You guys heard it if you listened to the podcast last
Who
week.
do you think you are? I am for me.
Oh, that's just a great sound in general.
Although there's another one that's on there that was like that you brought. That's Mom Brain.
Oh, this one.
Do I have Tubi?
Yeah.
There you go.
Do I have
this
Doobie?
is the one I would want for Do.
Not Do.
That was on last week's podcast where he was talking about Clubhouse games.
My favorite part about that video is how he's like staring me down because he's not. He's just singing it to me because I'm the one who should know it. It's not that far off.
I thought it was perfect. And when I listened to it back, I was like, that's awful. It's unrecognizable.
I won't say it's unrecognizable. I won't say it's not far off. It's somewhere in there. There's something that's there. Yeah, I'll give you some of it. But I was thinking like that's a problem I have because I'm a weirdo when it comes to replicating sounds or songs. Like I'm like this instrument's from this company back in whatever. So when I hear anything that's slightly off, I'm like I have no idea what this is. I can't figure this out at all. It's either like I remember it exactly like it was or I'm gone. I can't. So
yeah.
It's like when I was in Italy and I asked the guy for pistachio gelato and he looked at me like I was crazy and it's pistachio and I was like, oh come on, you know what I'm saying, but like
you've never heard it before.
Yeah.
We also have a Patreon question. Dude, did you know that you could join the Patreon
For $1.
for $1?
Where?
And first, this comes with an apology to Sergio. You sent me questions for the podcast last week, and I only read one of them because our conversation afterwards was so long about something based off of what you said. So this week, you get the second half of your question, and it's for you, Do. Also, could a proper quesadilla, one made with 2 tortillas and cheese, potentially other toppings in the middle? Could that be considered a sandwich? Please discuss this, especially Do. That's what it says. He says, please discuss this for 30 minutes.
No, it's a quesadilla. It's a quesadilla. All right. God.
What's the big deal?
Nice. We did it.
Do you have pushback on this? You usually do.
I mean, you can take quesadilla and you could probably sell it as a panini in some places. Like it's a sandwich, but it's a quesadilla. Like
we're fooling ourselves if we're not saying it's a sandwich.
All quesadillas,
sandwiches.
all quesadillas.
Mm-hmm.
All quesadillas are sandwiches, but
I'll
not
take
all sandwiches are quesadillas.
Yeah. In the loosest sense, yeah, it's all sandwich. I don't care.
That's crazy. You
The
guys
thing about it is like a quesadilla, you don't really just cut in half or eat it as a whole.
A proper quesadilla, one made with 2 tortillas and cheese. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't it be a sandwich? What makes it not a sandwich?
In different cultures, that it's the same thing, but just
in Mexico and Spain, they have 8 million different things, and they all are, as what's his face says, the same 3 ingredients and everything.
Yeah.
So, what's his name?
Jim Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan. Thank you. We won't make you do the 30 minutes, but you've said your piece.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to say. I really don't want to talk about it anymore because it's like it's inexplicable to me that you guys think that that's a sandwich at all. And
Well,
it's called a quesadilla. It's not called a sandwich.
It's like
Get
Twitter's
outta
called
here.
X. You know what? We all know it's Twitter.
No.
Do you call it X?
We're talking about a sandwich and we're talking about quesadillas.
See, here's the thing.
You know what a
I'm gonna
sandwich
end-
looks like, and you know what a quesadilla
bread
looks
and
like.
cheese. Here's the thing. I want to talk about this so desperately,
hate
but
it.
I know you get upset, so we're
here's the
gonna
thing.
move on.
No,
Because
here's
what
the
is there
thing.
to say? You're like,
Whether
I'm
it's-
right, and I'm like, I'm right. So
here's
who's
the-
right?
Here's the point.
No, but
nobody's saying they're right. It's a discussion, but I also love that you
Because
get
it's
so worked up about it.
asinine. It's asinine. Why are we even talking about it? Put it in your face and eat it if you like it, and if you don't.
No one's
Who
saying they
cares what
don't
it's
like
called?
it.
But it's
well,
called
the
a
big
quesadilla.
debate is
It's not called a
the
torta.
hot dog being a sandwich, right? And like this
Mhm.
whole quesadilla concept, sorry, dude, makes me think that a hot dog is more a taco than anything. Because a taco is not real. I wouldn't call a taco a sandwich
You
because
wouldn't get an argument
you
from
know?
me.
These
You
are
got-
my friends. These are my friends, ladies and gentlemen,
Well,
in,
it's like-
in Radio Land.
It's like the whole
These
yeah,
insane men.
Here, take the Nito cube and de-stress. You zone out. We're gonna go. Yeah, like a taco with a hot dog. I could see that argument being made.
Yeah.
Sure, because
it's more a
like
taco
an
than it
open-faced
is a sandwich.
It's like, what do you mean an open-faced sandwich? No, a sandwich is 2 pieces of bread and something in the middle. You can't just give me one open piece of bread with something on top.
Right.
And
If
that's
you
not
open
a
them up,
sandwich
you've
at
got a
all.
casserole,
I don't know. I'm not.
a
not-
lasagna, It's layers,
I'm not as
and don't
well versed in
let's
in
don't even
casseroles.
go there, Sergio. Lasagna is not a sandwich. Not even going to start that.
Well, yeah, that's pasta as your. Yeah, I agree. It's not a sandwich because there's no bread there. There's pasta.
Right.
You're layering it as you would a sandwich, sure, but
Potentially.
it's not a sandwich.
Like
because
you're
no
gonna.
bread.
I mean, if anything, you'd have to call lasagna
Hi,
a
Rachi.
club sandwich. But
Do your thoughts.
I can't abide this buffoonery anymore. I really can't. I am at the
man.
end of my rope.
Thank
here.
you for your $1, Sergio. Well
What
spent,
a
my
waste
friend.
of time. What a waste of time. This
a friendship
conversation
has
was.
ended.
This
today.
whole podcast
No.
is a waste of time. That's the best part about it. But moving on. That's it. We got no music. I'm sorry. Blame Mom Brain. But I guess that's it. Unless there's.
So wait,
anything
wait.
else.
What was the other question? Oh my gosh, that just happened so fast.
There's no other question. What are you talking about?
A regular
Oh.
question and a. What was the regular question?
Soundboard clip.
Right.
And then I guess that's it because there's nothing else.
There's it's not it. There's one more thing,
Oh,
and it's very important.
It's about quesadillas.
Deux views. It's never news. Rumor of the week with Deux Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to the podcast regularly, you know that I do Michaels. I get
Michaels.
I get
I
get
my
rumors.
favorite part
Listen,
about this
guys,
I
whole
hate
thing, to
it.
pull back the curtain a little bit, is how the more you do it and the longer you do it in time, the less you
The-
know what you're going to say as it happens.
it gets harder.
I
It's
love it.
also just for reference. We're recording this. It is now 8:30 in the evening.
What does that mean? It's 8:30.
I feel like
a normal time. It's
I-
prime time for TV.
It's also like a couple hours after Dude's bedtime.
Yeah, it's like I think he just means personally.
He's-
Deux would have been asleep by now, but
That is true.
and so like
You be getting ready to wake up soon in like 45 minutes or so.
so
Fortnite time.
and then usually when I wake up from my naps, there's messages from my spiders and my flies explaining what the latest rumors are, and I share them with you folks every week. Something different about this week's rumor, though. It says right here that this rumor is actually true.
Holy
So-
crap! What an honor.
Not something that we usually get to report on, but we're going to break the news here for everybody today. So this is very, very exciting. According to the rumor mill that I have here right in front of me, we have some news on the Switch Successor that's coming out. We
Oh.
don't have a name, but we do have it's being powered by some new technology inside of it. And it's actually they're getting away from batteries. It's for some reason it says here that it's gasoline powered, and the It's powered by something called the Miyamotor. So it's a motor named after Miyamoto, and it's going to be gas powered, and it's going to that's going to be it.
I know this is true, as you said.
Yes,
but I will say, this is my favorite Deux views that I've ever heard. I love this very true one. The Miyamotor is a great
pretty
name.
good, right?
Are you kidding me? I'm not crazy about a gasoline-powered system, but I play video games on no matter what they are. So I guess I'll be spending a lot of money on gas. I bought the damn Tesla, so I didn't have to get gas anymore.
Yeah.
But I'll take it. Thank you for that very true piece of information.
My
I appreciate it.
pleasure. My pleasure.
Again, thank you to Deux and Nicky Hill for joining me on Friday. A round of applause for you. And that's all we got. We will be a normal show next week, and as far as I know, Mom Brain will be there. So thanks for joining us on Friday if you did. Oh, by the way, I don't know what the hell's going on lately with the catcher for the podcast. Is supposed to throw it up on iTunes because last week it just crapped the bed. Eventually, things refreshed and it worked out. So I don't know. It's whenever Apple doesn't feel like doing what it's supposed to do, but I'll keep tabs on it more closely going forward. But thanks for letting me know, everybody that did. We got it there. We got it fixed up. So hopefully this will be there.
Never mind. I'll talk later.
Okay. Are you sure?
Well, Apple released
Can you
their.
imagine how frustrating it'd be to be listening to
I
this
know. That's
podcast,
exactly
get
what I
right
thought,
to the
right
end,
away.
and then
come
have him
on.
do that, and then
Everybody turned it off already. The show's over.
You listen to anything, and somebody's like, "Oh, there's this one." No, never mind. And then you're like, "Goodbye." You're like, "No, what do you mean you can't end like that?"
No,
That
it
would
has
be the
nothing to do with
worst.
anything. You
It
said
doesn't
Apple, and it
matter.
automatically made me think of the Apple visor thing that just came out,
Mhm.
and like people could watch the podcast and actually sit in the room with us. But then I like my brain already moved on to like it's not a 3D camera or anything, so they're not really going to be sitting in the room with us. So I
We-
shouldn't even bring it up.
We'd have to do a lot. That's for us to decide. We'd have to do a lot of work to make that work and actually have it look like they were sitting here. We could have a camera at this table
And put them like right in front of this.
yeah.
Don't
exactly.
touch. Get
It
out.
could be done. Yeah, because that's our audience. People who play video games, and people are going to spend what $15,000 on an Apple
15. I thought it was
visor.
like 6,000.
If you get all the accoutrement, it's like you can get the base model without the battery that you should probably have, and all this other stuff. Yeah, it's like I think it's between. I think base is $5,000, and if you get everything with the accessories, it's $9,000. I could be
Holy
wrong.
cow,
on those
that's
numbers,
expensive.
Huh.
So yeah, next episode we'll be ready for that.
You can't even watch VR porn on it.
Can you watch AR porn?
I don't know.
Oh, there's a block.
No, you can. They're just saying it's not the next evolution of porn like everybody wanted it to be.
That's what people were saying. Like that's all the
The only
expectations
reason
were?
new technologies come around is
Right.
because of porn. So of course, when people get this headset, they're like, "What does it do
But
for porn?"
did porn choose Blu-ray or did porn choose? They did choose Blu-ray over a HD DVD.
The official representative for porn came out and said, "We are going Blu-ray." Yes, porn was the reason.
Well,
Maybe
I know porn was the reason it was VHS over Betamax, even though Betamax was like a superior technology.
Man.
But I wasn't sure. I was just thinking about this the other day. I don't know, just because of like technology and like
I was thinking about
start of the
porn
year and
other day.
CES and stuff, because that's why like that's also part of CES. Anyway,
Sure.
goodbye everybody.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yes, we could continue. Solomester Link just got here for the after show.
Smash
Thanks,
that
Solomester Link.
subscribe button.
Yes, I've seen the articles saying how I don't know why the porn industry would be like, yes, we will make effort to support this $5,000 visor. Like they already do porn for VR.
Oh, they
right
said they're
now.
not doing a specific.
No, there's no. First off, there's no representative
Why
for
is that
porn who
not
said
VR?
anything. But
It's a different.
it's VR and
Browser?
it's AR. But that's my point. Like they're not going to make something.
Oh,
Why would you
AR.
spend so much money to make something for just people who have that one thing? Like
Mhm.
they're going to do stuff that works on all the other VR headsets. But we'll see what happens. Do I want to see what that's like? Yes. Am I going to buy it? No, never. I'm not going to spend $5,000 on a
Man, that's
headset.
so expensive. And the people I've seen who are just like walking around
Walking
the streets,
around,
like
but, like-
it's normal. I mean, I guess one day it'll be normal, but like it seems crazy now to wear $5,000 on your face when someone could just rip it off your head.
Right, unless there's a backward facing camera and you can have that window up.
Well, guys, you
You
could
know?
have it for $300 a month if you want to pay.
Oh
monthly.
yeah, sure.
I do. My problem is I don't need anything. Like I don't.
256 gigs for 3,500. 512.
You don't have to pause things to go to the bathroom.
So if you get the 1 terabyte version, it's $3,900.
Oh my god!
That's without any. That's without the
Oh, wait,
battery and all that
$3,900.
stuff.
So $4,000.
So that's the cheap version.
Well, it's the base. You get the base no matter what, and then you got to buy the accessories too.
Man. Yeah, man. I wish them all the best of luck.
And that's the other thing. People are never going to adopt it on a mass level because people are going to say you look stupid. People are going to be like, I can do all this stuff on my phone. Like, I don't want to wear a headset to do what I do on my phone. Why would you?
But then, even the ad for the Meta 3, was it, or Meta Quest 3? It was very similar to the things that I'm seeing now with the Apple headset. What is it called? Apple Vision?
Yeah. I would say it doesn't.
What does Marvel think about that?
It doesn't do like anything new. It does things better than we have now, but there's other things that does what it does. Like there's nothing like this is what our headset can do that nothing else can do.
Right. No, it's not.
And app developers need to take advantage of it too. Like people need to build things for it.
I mean, yeah, it can't do. It's not that it does anything different, but
doesn't it?
But doesn't it look? It doesn't Doesn't it have the nicest fidelity or whatever for that?
Yeah,
kind of
better for $3,500. Yeah, but it's still when you get in.
But what's the
close
Meta
to things,
Quest?
it's going to be grainy, huh?
What's like the Meta Quest 3?
How much does that cost?
Yeah,
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I would say $700. I don't know.
Really? It's not going to be that much cheaper. Wow.
And what Apple shows in their advertising.
Is that wireless though too? Can you just wear it and walk around? Wow.
Look, no, I'm trying to edit while I'm doing this. Look up the
Look it up.
Yeah.
What?
Look it up to see what it is.
What is it?
As far as pricing goes?
Medic?
Yeah. My brain is clearly having trouble doing two things at once here. You know what? I'll just wait.
My brain.
For the price, a 512 gigabyte one just came up for $650.
There you go. So I said 7. It's right there. And yeah, people aren't going to wear headsets.
That's the thing that gets me.
It's
like,
I'm not saying you're wrong to not want to.
Yeah, it's not.
500.
It's not comfortable to wear them for a long period of time, and you don't want to, like, unless you're playing a VR game or maybe watching a movie. There's nothing else I could see wanting to wear the headset for.
They showed somebody, oh my god, making a cooking or there's a cooking app that's coming out that's like you wear it and it's like this is boiling for 7 minutes. I need a timer, and you like literally take your fingers in the air to do the timer and then drag it and put it above the pot. So in AR you see a timer when you look over. That's cool. That's not $3,500 cool, and that's not something I can't also do on my phone.
Right.
Like, I'll just set a timer on my phone or tell the Echo, give me a 5-minute timer.
I did see this one guy. I guess it was a TikTok, but he had a television up, like a screen up in the living room.
Yeah.
A computer screen over here. Then he went into the kitchen. He's got like a YouTube video for cooking stuff.
Yeah.
In right by the stove. He's got this over here. So he had everything like in a different room, and you can lock it in place and then just come back to it whenever you want.
But I don't think that's anything vision specific. I think other headsets can do that. Other headsets can do AR for sure.
Well,
Microsoft
but like
has
it's
their
also,
HoloLens.
I mean, that's also to a point of excess. Like you don't need to do
yes.
that.
Yeah. It's a cool idea, but it's not.
But I mean,
nobody's
sure, you're
gonna
sitting
buy
down
into
watching a movie, and it's the simulation of like a movie theater screen size or whatever, right up in your face.
And you can do that on everything out right now.
Well, yeah, and I guess you could still do it on like the MetaQuest or whatever. But then like you get up to use the bathroom, and you're still in the theater. You know?
I don't know why.
Just be
you
careful.
Keep saying, I know you're half
Well,
joking.
I'm
but
only
I think
bringing it
you're
back
half
to that.
serious.
I'm
No,
bringing
no,
it back to
no,
that
I
because
get
I
it.
just said it as a joke, but I was just like,
That's
you know, and then you're there.
no,
But then you just got to
like
be
that.
careful
That's
because then when like you're in a real world theater, you might get confused and you might be peeing in the seat.
That's cool for immersion. I like that. Yes, that's a cool idea. I'm never gonna buy something because of that though. Like
I
I'm
would-
not gonna do that.
If there was some sort of subscription service where you could be like 50-yard line every football game, or like at a concert
But that's-
right up front, or Disney World, maybe you're going on all the rides at Disney or something.
No,
I would
don't do
I would
that.
love
But that's
that.
the thing. You can do that now with all other headsets. All that exists. You can get front row tickets to concerts, WWE.
That sounds great.
All of them. It exists right now. You can
I
do
want
it.
that to be normal.
Use like any, there's a multitude of VR headsets where you can do that now. It exists. You can do it with the Quest 2. You can do it with the Quest before it. Like that's out there, and that's a cool idea. Yeah,
That's
if you want to
lovely. I
pay,
love that.
another $15 to get literally a front row seat to whatever it may be. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm down with
I
that.
think that's worth it. I
But-
think that's worth it for the future of this tech.
Yeah, but like, are you going to spend $3,500 to do that? No, you're going to spend $300 and get a Quest 2 and do it that way. Like, why?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Just because there's an Apple logo on it.
I think I said it
That's
to
another
do.
thing.
Who knows if it was just like people trying to spread fear and stuff like that. But I remember back when iPhones were very new and people would listen with their earbuds and like they'd have their phone in their pocket or whatever, and it was this big thing of like people on the subway are getting mugged because they know that they have a phone connected to their earbuds. Like the earbuds were the sign that like there's a phone
Yeah.
here, and so people were getting like attacked and mugged or like robbed. And now they've got a $5,000+ thing on their head and they're walking around like, it's just funny that like it's just out in the open for people to just take. I don't know. It's just like you're which I think is probably part of it too. That's a huge thing for people, is that they're just out there flaunting it. Like,
Well, I mean,
you
like
like
buy
people-
it to use it.
but people there's a lot of people who buy cars that they don't necessarily afford, or like they're leasing cars and it's out of their price range, but it's like a status thing. And I feel like, they're using this. It's kind of still a stat. It's still,
Well, if you got the money and that's what you want to do, you
Oh,
go right ahead. Like, well, I don't care. Go ahead, do whatever you want.
Like they're walking past a restaurant, like, oh, well, where do you want to eat tonight? And they look at this place and like, let me bring up the Yelp review. Oh, there it is. And it's like, you can do that on your phone, but like, because they can do it in this headset, they're cool. I don't know.
If you won one in a sweepstakes, would you sell it?
I would try it first, and then I would probably, I would guess after a couple months, I would never use it. I'd be like, oh, one of you guys want it? Is probably what I would do first. I
But
don't
what about
see
the
it being
people?
a
What about
success.
the people who are in their self-driving Teslas on their iPhone Vision?
Not allowed.
Apple
Not
Visions.
allowed. You got to keep contact on the wheel and all that stuff, even if it's self-driving. So.
Oh, really?
Radical Defect says, I have an analog pocket. I'm terrified to actually travel with it because, boy, is it a headache to replace. I want that analog pocket, and it's not something I need, so I haven't bought it, but that thing is gorgeous, and I would like to have that
Oh,
to
that's for
play
sale already?
my retro games on. Yeah, it's been out for maybe a year.
Who made it? Because it's a game company.
Analog.
That's the name of the company?
It's the analog pocket.
Never mind then.
You thinking of something else?
Whoa, this thing's cool
Yeah.
looking.
The analog pocket?
Yeah.
It's got
It's awesome,
the
yeah.
dial.
And they even sell an accessory dock if you wanted to play on TV too. So
What
it's
is
yeah.
it? What-
Sorry?
And like, what does it do? Can Nintendo sue them for this? What is this?
No, it's just
Why would they?
it's just plays actual cartridges.
What cartridges?
They're
They're all new games, right?
Oh, it's its own thing.
no.
It's not?
It's not some emulator.
Analog. I mean, you play old games, yes, and it is done through emulation, yes, but it's legit. Like it's got like the cartridge slot in the back for like Game Boy or Game Boy Color or.
I don't want to keep talking about this while we're live
Game
because
Boy
I'm
Advance.
going to sound so stupid because I've never heard of this thing and I have so many questions and I don't understand what you're telling me right now. So
I brought it up to you.
Wait,
a while ago.
no, it's a video game podcast. Let's talk about
Well,
it.
wait, let's go back
What are your
real quick.
questions?
TKO says about the Apple thing. You can leave app windows open in various rooms of the house. You can have a porn app open in each room of the house.
I'm going to the bathroom. Excuse me. Yeah, what are your questions, dude? This
I'm
is
going to the
perfect to,
kitchen.
talk
No,
about.
excuse me.
All my questions were answered. Thank you very much.
You are such a bad liar.
I'm a very bad liar.
I'll talk to you after the podcast.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then that's it, everybody. We talked about Apple and VR porn. What more could you want? Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend. Play some games. Rest, relax. Hang out with friends and family. You deserve it.
Hey, spend some special time with that special someone if you have one.
Oh,
if you
Valentine's
don't,
Day, that's right.
there's no
If
problem
you don't,
there too.
go
I'm
down
sorry.
to the supermarket, get yourself one of them Pillsbury logs with the hearts in the middle, and just eat that dough all day long.
And you can head to AMC movie theaters. Are they still selling that Dune popcorn thing, or is that gone?
Oh, that's true. That might be gone.
I
Slightly
thought-
used on eBay if you want.
I thought that whole gag was supposed to work from the other side.
Paul John's has a heart-shaped pizza this weekend. You can get that if you want. That's it. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Don't buy into it.
We